I'll introduce myself again because this is game number 2 after the first one scrapped after 2 hours. And I need to do the introduction again for YouTube. Um, because I have just been stomping my own viewers whenever I play viewer lobbies in my Discord server, I am taking to spectating a viewer game now. So we will be watching, seeing how my viewers perform. What is this? This is BBM? Did this person move turn 1? There's no way you could get a spawn like this on a BBM, right? It says it is. BBM placement algorithm successfully used. How do you spawn on this tile? No, he moved. He totally moved. Why did he move here? Is that a misclick? There's like no way he intentionally moved to the 2-2 tile here. Unless he's just like not used to playing with BBG, because we have BCY max. You just get a 3-1 base from settling on flat land. It would have been way better to settle in place wherever he spawned. Probably like here he might have spawned. Should have settled in place here instead of moving over the river. The only tile he could have spawned on is right here, actually. The only way that he could have gotten here. Or here. Wait. Yeah, I don't know. I think he like spawned here and then moved. He definitely spawned here and moved east. That was a blunder. But okay. It is what it is. We already have one player out of contention with the suspicious turn 1 move. Looking around. We have Rampy here on Ludwig has an okay looking spawn. Nothing too remarkable. We're waiting on 94 here. They're the only one who hasn't ended their turn. Where are they? Have they started their turn? Yeah, they moved. Oh, here we go. We're loading in to the next turn. We see here, it delayed B1. This is so bad, by the way. This is such a bad settle compared to settling in place, honestly. Yeah, this is an okay looking spawn. Nothing too remarkable here. Anybody have like a particularly good spawn? We have Giant's Causeway very close by to this England here. Oh, somebody else settled turn 2 as well. Why would you move away from the fresh water? Wait, where did he spawn? He couldn't have spawned on the sheep. He spawned here, and then he moved on to the sheep turn 1, and then he settled here turn 2. I mean, it's not the worst, but I think you want the housing, because this city is going to have 4 housing now, which is bad. Like, settling in place might have been better just to get the, better housing, right? That way you have 6 housing in your capital instead of 4 to start out with. Bit of a sus. Much better tiles for settling here, so he gets that at least, but yeah. Getting housing cap super early is going to blow. +1 population. He just got a pop hut. Okay, this is going to be a pretty high tempo game. It's just I don't know if he'll lose that tempo when his city gets housing capped for not having fresh water. Oh, does Coupe get extra housing? Oh, he might. I forgot. Does Coupe actually, as a civ, just get extra housing on their palace? I know BBG removed the extra amenities Coupe gets on their palace, but I think they might have kept the extra housing that they get on their palace from the base game. And if that's the case, then he's perfectly fine. He's actually might have been a good move then for the better tile yields. Ethiopia over here has 3-2 spices already. Pretty good. They are chilling. They got a lot of mountains around here, but lack of fresh water here is kind of rough. It's actually kind of hard for Ethiopia to get good freshwater cities, right? They have a city over here, which is like, okay. They have Chocolate Hills down here if they can find it. That's great. Worth noting, Ethiopia has to settle on hills or resources to get their civs bonus. So they're pretty limited on where they can settle to begin with. Like up here, down here, they have to actually find these cities. Up here is like a long walk. Over here is a long walk if they want to get a settle. They're just going to lose a lot of time walking their settlers for like their 4th and 5th cities. It is what it is. Anybody else have any interesting tech openers? We have 5 people on astrology. 2 of them already got the boost. Where's the what wonders did they find, by the way? We found Mato Tipila from 94 and Kamilki, which was on Georgia tomorrow. Had to have found a wonder to get the astrology boost. Uluru. That's how they got the astrology boost. Holy site already going down. Probably not going to start building the holy site, just placing it to lock in the production cost. Yep, and then switching back to a settler. It's normal. They want to make sure that they get the cheapest holy site possible. We'll check what they're about to pick up 2 huts, actually. 94. What are they getting from these 2 huts? They're getting... I don't know what that gave. Gave XP plus something else, and then they got a trader unit. Maybe they got like a Eureka or an Inspiration or something. I think I would have seen if they got like a yield. Georgia already placing their holy site as well. But again, not going to actually build the holy site early. Best color scheme in the game, the green Zulu. It's pretty good. I do like a lot of the green color schemes. I think Hungary is one of the most relaxing color schemes. We'll see what the Zulu here, Yeti, gets from this hut. Okay, we won't see. I think it's a Eureka or Inspiration. If it doesn't show us anything visibly, then that must be what it is. Leventa down here. I believe, yeah, they just met Leventa. Oh, Leventa was actually first met already by Gandhi here. That is Temsyad. Also, already has the builder here. Wait, did he buy that builder or did he get it from a hut? He must have gotten it from a hut or produced it. Did he produce this builder? I mean, sure. Yeah, 1 builder into 1, or 1 scout into 1 builder was his opener, which is it's fine on Coupe. On the Civ, once you get to Celestial Navigation, you get +1 food on all of your fishing boats. So these fishing boats will be pretty good once he gets there. This also helps with the housing issues if he doesn't get like enough extra housing from his palace getting free housing. Also, you culture bomb adjacent tiles when you build fishing boats on the Civ. Like he could buy this turtles. I think he will probably buy this turtles and then improve it. That's what I would do here. Gives you another really good tile to work early. Culture bombs the sheep, which is like, you're probably not working the sheep early, but hey, narrows the range of tiles that you can ban to naturally later. We see a builder getting stolen by Cats Are Cool here from Caguana. Okay, monument, that's wrong. That's go for a second settler. Now we're seeing some blunders come through. There's no way it's monument here. There's no way monument. I mean, is the thought process that you want to get to early empire faster because it gives +1 prod on all of your unimproved tiles, right? That's a thing on Coupe, that you get the +1 prod on all unimproved tiles at early empire, but I've never seen a monument early for the sake of getting early empire faster. And we'll see if it pays off, but it's an exotic build order. At the very least, it's not the worst. If you were going to do this on any Civ, Coupe is probably the least troll Civ to go for it on, just because of that +1 prod on all unimproved tiles at early empire. Okay. Here we see more conventional build order. 2 settlers, that's what you'd expect. Pretty big holy site here. This is +3 here because it's next to 2 mountains and 2 woods. The woods giving half a point of adjacency each. Second settlement already coming out over here from 94. Walked this pretty quickly over to this tile. They do have the free trader that they got from a tribal village earlier. And they will be placing a holy site here on the niter that they have not revealed yet. There is Singapore being revealed by the Eleanor. Or not Eleanor, sorry, Elizabeth. Were they the one who first met this? I can check this. Who first met this? 94. Okay. Because Singapore is a very good city-state for Elizabeth. Elizabeth gets extra yields for trading to city-states, and Singapore gives international trade routes +2 production. So if you put Amani in there where she can act as 2 envoys and start sending trade routes to Singapore right away, you can get very, very good trade route yields on Elizabeth. See here, some other people getting their second settlements. What? This is settle on top of rice. Okay. Yeah. In order for Ethiopia to get their bonus where they convert faith into science and culture, they have to settle on resources or hills. In the base game, it's just hills, but BBG expands it to resources because otherwise, like, you have these nice settles on top of rice that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Also, is he even revealed the chocolate hills here? He has no idea. He has no idea there's chocolate hills right here. I was like, if you know the chocolate hills here, I think you might consider going another tile just to get closer to it, but he doesn't know. Clueless. Clueless Ethiopia. Okay. Got pretty basic expand over here. Nothing too notable. Over here, we have Camille Key. Solid expand. Oh, Zulu here. Going for this, I'm not sure this is the best play, just because you're settling off fresh. And if we see what text he's going currency here, right? The city's going to be housing capped on 3 housing. He's gonna have to like build tile improvements to get it to 4 housing, and then probably wait until he gets to like classical republic to get it to 5 housing from the +1 housing of the government's effect. And just getting your second city to 4 pop quickly so you can get a discounted district down, I think, is like really important. And settling it on coast here where it doesn't have fresh water, not great for doing that. Especially because he's not even going sailing, right? He doesn't have a way to get the housing uncapped quickly. He's not like improving this. He's going currency. Over here, Poland, nice expand, 3-2 bananas, 3-1 sugar, pretty good. Poland already has their holy site, but is going for another settler. Afterwards, we may see them project their religion right away. It's Poland as a civ likes to get their religion ASAP because they get a free relic upon founding it, and they get extra yields on relics. So getting to that free relic quickly by founding your religion quickly is like a huge part of the Poland build order. So 2 settlers and then spam holy site projects. Just run 2 of them to get their religion right away. It's very common. Is there a mod to watch others play like that? Better spectator mod, yeah. Somebody said, I have a strange feeling. I know that I will have district discount, but during about 5 turns, nothing happens. It could be in next turn, I know. When I'm putting, for example, entertainment complex in work, its cost is immediately dropping from 55 to 33, as it should be. And all campuses too. What the F is wrong with Civ now? When you see the listed production cost on the sidebar, that is not always accurate to the district discounting formula. What is accurate is the number of turns it says that it'll take to build it. It'll tell you if a district's discounted correctly by looking at the number of turns, right? So if a district says that it costs 55 when you hover it, but then the actual turn timer shows you that it would like cost 33, the turn timer is correct. It's telling you that you have the discount, and you do. Ethiopia did come back and find Chocolate Hills, so now he knows. He is no longer clueless, and he also sees and can grab this hut. We'll see who gets this, because both these players could get it. Ethiopia is able to secure the hut. And we get a relic coming out here from Kree. I haven't looked much at Kree here. Why is he on 2 population? Was there a disaster? No disaster seems to have killed any population. So I don't know why he's on 2 pop. What's the deal here? Is he working the cotton? Oh yeah, he did. He settled turn 2. This is the guy who spawned here on this tile and then moved onto the 2-2 stone and settled turn 2, which is like way worse than settling in place would have been. And it's kind of like slowed down his entire game. And now he's going granary open in his second city. And he settled his second city in a bit of a suspect spot because it only has the 1-2-2 tile in first ring. I mean, it can It has 2 more decent tiles in second ring, but like his best expand was probably up here, right? Next to the furs and the deer. Now you have 2 good tiles in your first ring. Which is good. Saves you gold from having to buy tiles. But yeah, dude is actually like, he's not growing at all. What is he working? I think he's working like both the cotton. Wait, can I check from his yield? 9 gold. No, he's working one of the cotton and then like a 2-1 tile or something, or a 1-2 tile. Stagnating on 2 pop. Very sad. All right. Let me see here. What great people are up? The first great merchant is the weakest one. The first great engineer is the weakest one. First great scientist is unremarkable. Yeah, there's nothing like super important in terms of great people that are available. Poland is the one who's closest to their religion because they actually finished their holy site. Going shrine here. Yeah, this is not standard Poland. I will say that. The classic Poland build order does not see you going for a shrine. It sees you just projecting to get a religion. And maybe like you do 2 holy sites tops. Now, I don't know if they have it revealed. They don't. If they had it revealed, they should go up here. This is by far their best expand, but they don't know that. This is a 2-2 city center with 2 3-2 bananas. Yeah, they just don't have it revealed. Very unfortunate scouting. And that's just unlucky. It could happen to anybody. I've had games where I had a really good expand that I didn't find right away. Just my scouts didn't move in that direction. We see here Elizabeth Blaze here, putting Amani into Singapore, clearly planning to trade to it, take advantage of Elizabeth's bonuses to trading towards city-states, and to take advantage of the fact that Singapore gives international trade routes extra yields. We see mysticism coming out from Mighty Meek already. Unorthodox a bit. The reason people tend to avoid mysticism, strong players, is because it unlocks another specialty district in the preserve, and unlocking more districts makes it harder to discount districts because of how the formula works. So that's the reason why you often see mysticism being avoided in the early game by stronger players. Is this off fresh? What am I looking at? Bro, this city has no water and went granary first. What? Hold up. Hold up. Like, he has to know, like, okay, so this city sucks. You can't do that. Over here. This is like better. It's not good, but it's better than this. By the way, he doesn't see this as a 1-4, right? He doesn't have coal revealed, so he doesn't have aluminum revealed either. I don't know why it's showing us our yields. Like, the yields we're seeing reflect the resources that they don't have revealed. Normally, once they annex a tile, we'll start to see what they see, which would be a like, this is probably just a 1-2 tile. He's gonna build a step well because on India you get a full point of housing from your unique step well. So that's what I imagine this builder will do on housing cap it. Isn't Elizabeth just dead to Byzantium? I mean, with proper play, no. Yeah, like, you're not just automatically dead to Byzantium. This is the better balanced game mod. Byzantium no longer has +10 crusades anymore, okay? We have technology. So, like, this could be holdable if they just sim better. But they might die to them. I mean, we'll see. We have third settlements coming in over here. Georgia building their... What are they talking about here? Blaze, I'm killing that CS. I can't let you do that. Is there an alternative? War. Yeah, 94 says that he's killing Singapore. But then Blaze can't do his trading to city-states build order, which is honestly not that bad. If you have an ally, you can actually get away with just trading to them. Elizabeth's bonuses for trading towards city-states are usually used for early game tempo, and then you can honestly pivot into trading to an ally later. You don't need to keep trading to city-states forever on the Civ. Especially once you get into the third age, or third era, Renaissance era. You get Reform the Coinage as your golden age. That gives you +3 gold for every specialty district at the destination on international trade routes. It kind of incentivizes trading to players instead of city-states. Kind of like cancels out your Civ bonuses. either you keep Basil as an ally, or you fight Basil. Yeah, he's just saying that I'm gonna kill the city-state. Insisting. Honestly, it's not that. It really is not that bad to just trade to a player instead of trading to a city-state on Elizabeth. Once you get into the later stages of the game, probably just keep running the Singapore trade routes early, and switch later. 94 is a pretty good player. Yeah, I'm honestly somewhat suspect that 94 might be a Smurf just because I've never heard of them. They're supposedly a good player. They're very chatty, but they mute themselves in Discord. And all these things are like, I don't know, just seems like things that a Smurf account would do. Also, I was told that they horse rushed players, but played well while doing it. And it's like horse rushing is like something that strong players like join noob lobbies so that they can horse rush. But I don't know. We will see. I mean, if this player is a Smurf, it'll become clear by the time the game is like turn 70 and they'll have like way higher stats. We have this settle over here from Zulu, near the Wonder. Should probably buy this tile, work this. You need the growth here. Does he have the? He has 140 gold. Bro, what are you sitting on 140 gold for? Buy this tile immediately. You're working like a 1-3. You're growing in 5 turns. You want to grow in much faster. The 2 food is like super important for the faster growth. The spices is just a better tile because it has the food that you need. There we go. He buys it. He's listening to my stream. He's stream sniping. We got it. Oh wait, total is not the yields they have. What is it? Score. This is the gold balance. Never mind. Total shows the total yields they've earned over the course of the game. So that's the total amount of gold he's generated. Score shows... Okay, this is just me being unfamiliar with Spectre mod, but he did have enough gold to buy it, and he did buy it. My bad. Score is where I can see the actual gold that they have. By the way, have we seen a religion come out? We do have one. Oh wait, he just recruited it this turn, but has not founded the religion. Yeah. Here we have the Great Prophet sitting around, and now we have it being activated. We'll check out what the religion is once they found it. A little later in the turn. No tempo civ. Honestly, it feels pretty bad to pick Ludwig and then not have any floodplain styles, because Ludwig gets bonus culture on all wonders for each adjacent district to them, including incomplete wonders. Just placing the wonder and then not even contributing any production to it still gives you the extra culture. So what you want is a floodplain city, because then you can settle it. You can place Etamananki plus Great Bath and just get a bunch of free culture from your Sid bonus without even contributing any production to them. But without floodplain styles, it is indeed a no tempo civ, no floodplain spawn, as he has named his cities. Still playable. We see Camille Key choosing not to steal the settler. Maybe playing nice, because for one, you'd have... If you steal somebody's settler, they're just going to send horsemen at you, and 2, it is a casual community game. We need a list of Moksha enjoyers and Magnus enjoyers. Yeah, let me check air score. Anybody? Oh my god. Dark Age. Are we gonna see a Dark Age from Cats Are Cool? 7 out of 8. He has to make sure he doesn't finish drama and poetry, because that would give him a golden age here, and that would be bad. Oh no. Why is he ran a project? 15 great profit points? That's gonna normal age. He's gonna normal age because he recruited a great profit. What is he doing? Why would you run a holy site project when you're 7 out of 8? This late in the game, like, it's too late to really be going for a golden age. Like, you're just trying to go for dark if it's this late. Let me see. What religions do we have? We have pay your taxes with feed the world and tithe. Probably planning to evangelize into crusades later. Taxis being a reference to the fact that Taxis, spelled like this, is the name of the leader, or not leader, the civ bonus for Byzantium, which grants them extra combat strength on all units for every holy site city following their religion. Third city finally coming down for Kree. It's like I said, like this player is completely irrel on turn 1 because they moved for some reason to this tile instead of just settling in place. And then settled turn 2. Like the optimal move on turn 2 is to move back and settle on turn 3 where you spawned. But of course he wasn't going to do that. So Poland's still not having a religion. Yeah, that's bad. You want to found your religion early on Poland just because Poland gets that free relic upon founding their religion. They get extra yields on relics. Definitely a mistake here. Okay, Moksha and Magnus, enjoy your head count, okay? We'll scan from left to right. We have 1 Moksha, 2 Mokshas, 3 Mokshas, 4 Mokshas, 5 Mokshas. No governor. Yeah, I don't think he has unlocked a governor. Yeah, it doesn't have early empire yet. So what are we on? 4 Mokshas? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No governor yet. 7, 8 Mokshas. Yeah, we have 8 Mokshas. What did this guy do with his governor title? He's definitely unlocked one. Did he go for do we have an Amani from him? Yes, in Ayutthaya. That makes sense. Yeah, why would you go Moksha when you can instead go Amani in Ayutthaya and just get the extra culture from finishing buildings? What do we have? Pyramids? Pyramids coming out over here, starting to build them. Of course, Georgia getting masonry early so that they can build their unique walls. In the Better Balance game mod, Georgia unlocks their unique walls as an ancient wall replacement instead of Renaissance wall replacement. And they provide a lot of faith, like 4 faith per turn in one culture, and then an additional 3 faith per turn whenever you're in a golden age. So in like 3 turns, these will be providing 7 faith per turn each. Very good. Not a single Pingala opener. Pingala openers are not good in the Better Balance game mod. They are the peak in a unmodded game for sure. Like if you're playing without Better Balance game, Pingala opener easily one of the best openers. It's between that and Magnus. But when playing BBG, nah, not really. I mean, it's good if you're like doing like a caravel rush, I guess, in teamers. If you're playing a teamers game, you have teammates that are going to trade you all the gold you need, and you just need science and nothing else to get to caravels to rush somebody. It's like the one case where you can justify a Pingala opener. But in free-for-all games, that's not a thing, really. What do we have for error score? We have Cats Are Cool went from 7 out of... He was 7 out of 8 just a couple turns ago, and now he's up to 14. Can he get a golden age? He's finishing a galley. That'll help. He's founded his religion, I believe. Poland getting their religion on turn 29 is a bit yikes. Not even. They recruited it and then didn't found it yet. They were too slow. Low APM. That's sad. That's not great. Poland gets so many yields. Okay, we have 17 out of 19. Ramfy might be missing their golden age. Do they have a plan for that? Is there a plan for Ramfy to get the golden age? Or are they just doomed? Yeah, I think it's doomed. It's over. Badge. What they needed to do was finish these 2 commercial hubs, honestly. This will be a plus 4 commercial hub once this one finishes, and then you get the error score for having a high adjacency commercial hub. But it's gonna be too late because the error rolls over next turn. 18 out of 19. Oh, Cats Are Cool got 3 more error scores somehow. Okay, so he's actually golden aging somehow. That is remarkable. Well, good on him. Looks like Rampy might be our singular one normal ager. He says he got an Envoy Hut after he gave up Golden Age. What, does that mean that the Envoy Hut could have gotten him a Golden Age if he had planned around it? If he had grabbed Mysticism or something? Poor guy. 31 out of 19 is definitely not getting second golden. I mean, nah, you can totally just get second golden just by having a really high tempo game. There's like a huge number of sources of era score available. If you just have a fast pace, like recruiting a lot of great people, getting high adjacency districts, like this is going to be era score for a +3 campus. You probably get a +4 industrial zone, a +4 commercial hub. Build a wonder too, like the medieval era. I think if you're a really good player, it's very, very consistent to get a medieval era golden age, no matter how much you overshoot the first era. Often overshooting the first era just means you had a really good ancient era anyway, which means that you can just leverage that into having more tempo. At Herson, maybe do you have some imposters that abusing commercial discounts don't believe with holy site openers? What do you mean abusing commercial discounts? Like going holy site opener into commercial? Or do you mean like going campus into commercial? Because I don't think there was a single campus opener in this game. Holy site into commercial hub is fine. You do need to get at least one other district completed if you want to get discounts. Like you go like 3 holy sites, then 1 discounted campus, and then you can like discount the Gov Plaza plus commercial hub is usually how it goes. By the way, theater squares unlocked from Mighty Matey. Interesting decision making. It's not that weird. On Ethiopia, he is just going to go for theology early, but does he have political philosophy? Because to me, no, he doesn't even have craftsmanship. It's weird to go drama and poetry this early. You need to go political philosophy first, get your government, and then you go down drama and poetry, and then theology. Not the worst thing in the world to get drama and poetry this early, but I mean, yeah. At the very least, this theater square is probably discounted. Because he doesn't even have the Gov Plaza unlocked. So he had 3 holy sites finished. Like 3 district types unlocked tops. This would be discounted. You say 4 commercials and then campuses and entertainment discounts, or just put campuses when available. Well, you wouldn't discount multiple entertainment complexes. Usually you only go 1 entertainment complex early, and that's only if you're contesting Coliseum. Entertainment complexes do not give good value early unless you're going Coliseum. It's just because the arena kind of sucks, the entertainment complex kind of sucks. But then Coliseum's absolutely incredible, and later in the game you want to build it because zoos are really good. The zoo is pretty good, and the stadium is pretty good. But yeah, you'll often see people build 0 entertainment complexes until like turn 70, and that's just because they want to put down like 1 zoo for the AoE bonus. But yeah, commercial hubs into discount campus, totally normal. That's like the basic, that's the most basic build order, I think. Is that you build like 3 commercial hubs and then a Gov Plaza, and then you like discount 1 campus. And you, after you discount that campus, you can discount a second one once it's finished being built. That is very basic. Hanging Gardens coming out here. Political philosophy still being researched by 2 people, Cats Are Cool and The Axe. Wait, does Cats Are Cool? He already has theater squares unlocked. I was like, this guy is having a pretty fast game. Like, he has a lot of culture and production. So the only reason he wouldn't have political philosophy yet is if he's going theater squares. Pretty normal on Maori, I think. Perfectly fine to go for theater squares early because Maori has that unique amphitheater that gives 1 extra culture and faith on all unimproved tiles with a feature in the city. No, it includes improved tiles, actually. It's every tile with a feature. So if there are woods, rainforest, floodplains, marsh, any of those features, you get the +1 culture and faith. So evidently he's going for those. It's a bit sus to be building a granary here. I mean, I would have just gone for a harbor here. I don't know why he went theater square right away in the city. Harbor is probably better. His capital, going for the double holy site is a bit exotic. Jesuit education is a good religious belief on Maori, though, because you get so much faith. Oh my god. Oh, did he quit it? Is this a rage quit? Did he lose a settler? What? Is this a quit or is this? Yeah,
That's a
That's
rage
a
quit.
quit.
That's a quit.
normal
got
age,
tired.
and then he had a
Nice.
settler stolen.
Oh, he
I assume
normal.
we're not waiting
Oh.
then. I could just unpause.
Yeah, he's the only normal ager. Yeah, you can just unpause, honestly.
It's
My bad. Like, listen. I saw it. I had to take it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to steal the AI settler now.
I mean, general etiquette is you're not supposed to do that.
I mean,
but
if
Yeah.
you accept the deli.
If you
don't
accept the
it, then-
delegation and then you take it, that's just like animalistic
he accepted
behavior.
deli and then he
It's like-
stole it.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
Oh,
no.
Damn, he sent me.
Yeah.
Bro,
that.
he
My
really
bad.
saw a settler, 10 gold, said thank you.
the funny thing is,
I
even
just
with
stole the AI settler.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
So 2 people just got plus infinite.
maybe
tempo for
you
free.
were not aware of the delegation etiquette. I mean, seems that there are a lot of things you may not be aware of.
Maybe.
Okay, can we kill both of those settlers? Because
No, I'm keeping it. I was gonna do this before, maybe anyway. I was considering it because I
really
either have to
Rampage.
war Germany or England. I was have to betray one of them. That's my only options, and I have now have a free
You're
choice.
not that close to me, man.
I'm my second closest.
There was
player.
like 10 tiles between these 2 cities.
Yes, 10 tiles. That's a great
Can
many.
Ethiopia have a deli from anyone?
You want to settle the fucking plains only? Like, there's no mountains there.
Yeah,
I want
friendly
the giant
Zulu.
cosmo.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty heated. We'll leave the voice channel now and get back to discussing the game. We do have one AI now, just because that player rage quit. Honestly, I already had a scrap earlier today. I don't have time to like start over again, so we'll just play it out with the AI. Unfortunate. Luckily, the Kree is so far behind that even taking the settler does not really help to accelerate him that much. I am more concerned about Poland and Georgia, because Georgia gets a free city. Like, this is just a clean settler up. This is like huge. I don't know why he moved this east. What? Oh wait, no, this is Poland. Oh, I thought this was Georgia that took the settler. Yeah, okay, never mind. This is Poland. Yeah, Poland is going to be the one that snowballs off this, if anybody. Because they have very easy cities to kill if this is an AI. Luckily, it's going Ancient Walls. What a smart. This AI knows what's up. Going Ancient Walls right now. But yeah. If anything upsets the competitive integrity of the game, it would be if the axe can somehow convert killing this into just snowballing out of control. Which if they were a good player, they could. But I don't know. This is a new player. Noob question. What is delegation etiquette? In a free-for-all game, if you have an exposed settler and you send somebody a delegation, it's meant as a like indication of whether or not they'll take the settler. Sort of like a, hey, would you look the other way? And if they accept the delegation, the implication is that they won't then take your settler. Whereas if they decline or don't respond to the delegation, you just like move your settler back and try to escort it. You lose a lot of tempo if you delay an early settle by like 4 or 5 turns, because you have to get a unit out to escort it. So it really helps to be able to play greedy and just move your settlers unescorted to wherever you want and just hope people don't take them. Also, if somebody takes a settler, and you just spam horsemen at them all game from then on because you're mad that your settler got stolen and you're just like irrelevant, you can ruin somebody's game. Like, it's usually not worth taking the settler unless you're very far away and don't have to fear retaliation. Right? Like, if this were a human right here, if this guy was a human and then Poland took his settler here, he could totally do enough damage to Poland that it would not have been worth taking the settler. But because it's an AI, it's not going to properly punish him. It's not going to spam horsemen at him. Early game wars are just really, really bad in Civ 6. Like, you do not want to war until later in the game. It slows down your tempo immensely. If this was CPL, I would just go kill this noob Kree. Yeah. I mean, this Kree settled turn 2. He spawned here and then moved to this tile, which was a 2/2 stone tile, and settled turn 2. And it just killed his entire game on the spot. It's like pretty bad move. Had no good workable tiles in his first ring anymore. Could have just settled in place and got a 3-1 base because of how BBG changes the city center yields for the capital. But yeah, Rampy now in my chat after rage quitting the game. Classic. Is there a way to show red number? Yes. Score. We can see here nobody's building a lot of units yet. What religions do we have, by the way, other than this? Hinduism from India. That's cross-cultural dialogue and choral music. Pretty standard, not that weird. Cross-cultural dialogue is a little exotic, but I wouldn't say it's crazy. He gets a free belief. He already has a lot of missionaries. He's actually spreading his religion quite early. That is pretty unusual. Going over here to spread to this guy right away. I think we might be seeing some culture victory cheese. Which is not gonna work against good players ever. Like, Ethiopia will defend their religion. But yeah. Cross-cultural dialogue and holy order this early. Pretty sus. I think Gandhi gets a free religion or free belief when founding their religion. That's why they have an extra belief over everybody else. They have not evangelized yet. They just got to choose a second one. Murder, crusade. Oh, crusade taken. Now Byzantium cannot evangelize into crusade because Poland has taken it. Who stole my fucking relic? I assume is what this means from Georgia. Zen meditation plus papal premise. Oh, rel is for religion. R-E-L. They probably wanted Jesuit education. Jesuit education plus papal primacy is like the standard religion on Georgia. But with Maori taking Jesuit education, it was not an option anymore. Zen meditation is a solid backup. On Georgia, you don't really lean heavily into holy sites. You just rely on faith generation from your walls. So that's why you want Jesuit education, so that you can actually spend all your faith later in the game. Unfortunately, they don't have that option. But like Jesuit education makes perfect sense on Maori. You see here, their unique amphitheater gives their marae gives +1 faith and +1 culture on every tile with a feature in the city. So you see like a lot of faith on these tiles. I think they also have their religion or the pantheon that gives +1 faith on appealing tiles. So you see every tile that is charming or better also has +1 faith. That's why they have +2 on some of these. So Jesuit education makes perfect sense on Maori. Just have to be ready for that to happen if you're playing Georgia, I guess. Yeah, Poland has like an incredibly easy kill on Germany. Yeah. I mean, they're not playing the best. They're going granary here when they should just be working 2 food tiles. Like they shouldn't be going granary. They shouldn't be working the 1-3s, which I think is why their city's growing slowly. I don't think we're dealing with the top player in the server when we have this Poland here, but they could still be a very, very relevant threat if they're just going to get a bunch of cities for free and with a stolen settler from the rage quitting Germany. We already have Horseman and Warlord's Throne. We have Warlord's Throne coming out from 94 here on Basil. Pumping out the Horseman. He said he would kill Singapore. So we'll see if he goes for Singapore here. Moving a settler very close down here. Ayutthaya over here. What city-states have people take control? Blaze is still trading to Singapore. Getting a very, honestly, very good start here. Just because trading to Singapore is so good on Elizabeth. Gives you the +2 prod on international trade routes. You already get extra yields from trading to city-states. Just inherent synergy. Is there a Valletta in this game? No. As you can now see that I have the screen open. There is Kumasi. Who is Mighty Matey that has Kumasi? Yeah, Mighty Matey has Kumasi and Kagwana, and I think he might start sending trade routes to it. If he starts sending some trade routes to Kagwana, he could get some very good yields. Because Ethiopia also gets extra faith on international trade routes. So you generally want to be sending trade routes to city-states early with Amani, who in the Better Balance game mod, +2 food and +2 prod and trade routes sent to a city-state she's assigned to. This is part of the reason the Singapore and Kumasi city-states are so good for sending trade routes to. Once you have them, you can send trade routes to a city-state for extra yields. By the way, Kumasi, you don't need to trade directly to Kumasi to get this. Right, you can just become suzerain of Kumasi like Mighty Meaty has done, and then trade to Kagwana, which is closer. And that also gives the yields. Do we have anybody getting close to feudalism? Cats are cool. Getting feudalism in 2. Blaze. Did Blaze already finish feudalism? Okay, yeah, he's having a very good game. He's already finished on feudalism. He should start spamming builders now, but he's only on 4 cities. It's a bit sus to be on 4 cities with only 1 settler out at this point. You should probably have more than that. I think the reason he has such high stats is because he's been neglecting settlers, which is probably not a good thing. But yeah, it needs to get his settlers out. Settle some more cities. Needs to be at least somewhat aware of this. I mean, I can check his friendship. Does he have a friendship active with 94? No. Yeah, they were arguing here. Did he agree? 94 is saying that he wanted to kill Singapore and that they could be trading partners so long as he let him kill Singapore. And Blaze was like upset by that, but I don't know if they ever negotiated this. I mean, they're negotiating coastal traders, and Blaze is saying he'll take Amani out of Singapore. So like they seem to have worked it out, but I wouldn't okay, they just declared friendship this turn. I was gonna say I wouldn't trust him without a declaration of friendship. A declaration of friendship means that they can't declare war for another 20 turns. If I didn't see that coming out there, then I would go for horsemen myself, just to make sure that my cities can't get like cleanly one shot by a surprise horseman. Because the city center strength is based on the strongest unit you've made all game, right? 12 strength cities means that he doesn't have anything stronger than a warrior, right? Whereas 26 strength cities means that he has a horseman. Because it's strength of the city center formula is the melee strength of the strongest unit you've produced all game, minus 10, and then plus 2 for every district finished in a city. So this one is like 26 because the strongest unit is a horseman, 36 combat strength. The 26 base, and then 2 districts finished, so that's plus 2 per district. That's why it's 30. This one only has 1 district, which is why it's 28. This one, I think it had a horseman in it at the start of the turn, which would have increased the strength to 36, and it just hasn't updated now that it's moved it out. It's actually a visual bug. This one should have 30 combat strength. It's just, he produced the horseman here, and then moved it out. Functionally, this would be 30 if you were to hit it. Yeah, it just updated now to reflect it. It's 30 combat strength. Somebody said Vanilla Civ 6 is like €6 right now, and Anthology bundle is like €30. Is it worth to buy that bundle? It's my first Civ game. Yeah, I think I would say it's worth it. Yeah, the bundle is pretty good value. I mean, €30. I'm not actually sure how valuable a euro is right now because I'm an American and I don't have the exchange rate between my currency memorized. But Civ 6 with the Anthology edition is very good. It's a lot better than Civ 7 is right now. Although I think Civ 7 could definitely get there with time. Civ 7 released undercooked. It needs more updates. It needs some DLC as well. Honestly, some more features. But mainly it just needs like bug fixes and some quality of life features that should have been in launch and were not. Especially since Civ 7 is like more than twice, maybe like 3 times as expensive as Civ 6. With all the DLC. You could get Civ 6 and 100% of the DLC for like 1/3 the cost of just Civ 7. It's a no-brainer that Civ 6 is the better deal right now, if you're like concerned about cost. Why did Ludwig quit? He normal aged and then had 2 settlers stolen. Both the Poland player and the Cree player stole one of his settlers on like turn 32 on the same turn. He had 2 settlers out that got stolen back to back. And he's the only player in the game who did not achieve a golden age. Those 2 things, I think, made him a rage quit there. Second settler steal is after the quit. Yeah, I think they might have been after the quit. I think the Poland player said in voice chat, like, I just took a settler off of the AI, like, but it was the same turn that he quit. By the way, what great people do we have? We have Germany taking an actually relevant great person here. This is the one that gives you no, never mind. I had it confused. I thought this was a different one. I thought it was the one that gives you the resource. Are we gonna see this? Who's gonna get this great merchant? I thought that this one was the one that gives you a luxury resource. I had the names mixed up. Does this guy get this on rollover? No. Okay, I thought he might have like finished another commercial up or something to increase his points. So, yeah, if he had finished this market, he would have gotten it because that would have been an additional merchant point. But he had not. So we will see. This is the best early game Great Merchant by quite a bit. It's not because of the extra faith yield on trade routes to city states. That's like a small little bonus. It's the extra trade route capacity. This extra trade route capacity is just amazing value. Trade capacity is just fantastic at all stages of the game. There's never a moment where you are sad to have one. Ludwig has interesting city names. Yeah, he named this. He was mad that he didn't have any floodplain styles. He wanted to place the Ludwig gets extra culture just for having Wonders Place. So Great Bath and Etymology, just placing them and not even committing any production to them would have given him extra culture, but he can't because he doesn't have floodplains. Oh, Tor's Settle coming out over here from 94. Very, very good Taurus, by the way. This natural wonder doubles the terrain yield of all adjacent tiles. Sometimes you get like Taurus, which are really bad, like it's just 4 1s, 4 0s. But this has some good tiles here. You have a 4-2, 4-3, 4-3. Because the yields are based on the adjacent terrain, it's just like super important that you get like hills. What you're looking for is the hills, right? It doesn't double the yields from features. Right, so Plains Hill is a 2-1 tile, so it becomes a 2-4 with this. Plains Hills, and the underlying woods give an additional +1 prod, which is why it's 3 prod instead of 2. The woods being a feature, not being doubled by this. Zulu doesn't need to open Akondas in FFA. Yeah, true. You can totally just go Com Hubs on Zulu and then go some Akondas later. I think it's perfectly fine in free for all. I think of Ikonda opener is also fine, but that's just because the tempo you get from the free great generals can be really good. Also, we will see this get recruited by Zulu here, so he gets the extra trade out capacity. He didn't even have to run a project for it. It's just nobody was paying attention, so he just passively earned the points for it, which is pretty good for him. Hang Gardens finished down here from Camille Key. Pyramids finished also by him. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus about to be finished. Blaze. Very good wonder. Extra charge on all great engineers. Needs to start focusing on getting settlers out. He has 5 cities and no settlers running around. In this position, right now, he needs to get a bunch of builders out with like extra charges from serfdom, the policy card. Because he has feudalism. Once you get to feudalism, you just spam builders with these chargers and start chopping. Once he has a ton of builders out, just chop woods, chop stone, chop everything, and get settlers out. Like ASAP is what he needs. 3 more settlers, get to 8 cities. You can't really scale well on fewer than 8. Like he has a solid city down here that he could settle. Could try to go all the way over here for a settle, which is not a great city, but it's yeah, you do what you have to. And then maybe another one down here. But yeah, needs something. Finished the mausoleum. Oracle being built over here. Going to be taking advantage of Oracle Pingala. Pingala giving 100% extra great person points in a city on one of his promotions. Pairs well with the Oracle, which gives you 2 great person points for each type of district in the city. Here you can see he has a theater square, so he'll get a lot of great writer points if he builds the Oracle and has Bengal in that city. He'll get 6 writer points just from the district, even without an amphitheater in it. What is ELO standard here? Seems like a novice CPL standard. Yeah, it's just novice CPL standard. I think there's like 2 players here, which might even not have even played a game in CPL before. Like I think the was it Cree here, and I think Poland might both be like brand new players, but everybody else is like at least CPL novice level. Like they have some experience. And Ludwig's an AI because the player rage quit after having settlers stolen and getting normal age. But yeah, Cree is definitely like brand new, I think. Honestly. From the way they played the early game. Let me see here. Camille Key getting a bit of a late feudalism. The Axe getting a very late feudalism in 6 turns. You usually won it by turn 45 already. 94 also getting a very late feudalism. It's like one of the most important power spikes in the game, just because being able to spam all those builders everywhere, get those extra yields is like, or those extra build charges, and just chop everything. It's like a massive power spike. So yeah, unfortunate. Of course, another also very slow feudalism, but whole game has been lagging behind. We have oracles being started over here from Ludwig AI, who canceled it. Stonehenge was finished over here. We have Singapore dying. Rip. Mausoleum finished. Stonehenge finished. We see that the Cree player, another, was able to secure the Great Merchant that gives 50 faith and a free copy of a luxury resource. A pretty solid merchant. You send it to another continent because each continent has its own set of luxury resources. So the best way to take advantage of it is to send it to a different continent than the one you're on, so you can get a luxury resource that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. So, I mean, he is a bit of a noob, so maybe he'll go for like something on his own continent, but I think if he's knows what he's doing, he'll send it over here and grab like tea or something. Oh, he already has... Wait, this city is already his. He can already get tea, so he shouldn't grab tea. Yeah. He already has tea in the 3rd ring of the city. So what you should do is maybe go down here and just grab like diamonds. If you can. It's kind of hard to fit through here. I don't even know if he scouted the route. Yeah, as far as he can tell, it's like impassable, basically. By the way, we have Camille K also taking advantage of the fact that this is an AI and you can just kill them with horses. Is what it is. We have the Oracle being finished over here. Bengala establishing next turn. Volcano. Whew. Pretty unfortunate volcanic eruption here. In terms of production, there are 3 players who are above 100 prod. We have Ethiopia over here. 108 faith, 103 prod, 10 gold. These economies are like really strong. These 2 right here. First off, 104 culture, really good, especially on Maori. Maori gets +1 prod on all unimproved tiles at mercantilism, all unimproved woods and rainforest, and they get an additional +2 prod on all unimproved woods and rainforest at conservation. So getting a lot of culture so you can get to these power spikes quickly is very good. Balancing your stats so you have like 5 times as much culture as science on turn 47 on Maori is actually perfectly fine. He does need to get his science up later, but it's like not that critical that he has it up now. As long as he starts building out his science over the next couple of turns, he'll be good. And this is a lot of faith. He has Jesuit education here, so he can faith purchase campus and theater square buildings. So if he gets some campuses up, he can just faith buy all of his libraries, get his stats up very quickly that way. Unfortunately, some of his best campus spots can't be used because Maori cannot remove resources. It's one of the civ's penalties. They have so many strengths that they are one of the few civs that has an actual like malice, like a penalty that they have to suffer. So like this would be a like 4 campus, right? Because it's next to the Gov Plaza, next to this, and it's next to the Reef. +4. Can't build it. Cannot remove the sheep. The sheep have rights when you're playing Maori, okay? So he has to suffer that. Another great campus here next to the hurdles. This would also be a +3 campus. Can't build it because, again, sheep are in the way. So we'll see what he does to get his science up a bit later. And somehow over here, 94 just has great prod, great faith. A bit slow to feudalism, still doesn't have it yet. About to get it on turn 49. Honestly, okay, in terms of era score, Cats Are Cool is struggling, as is Yeti. How many turns do we have left? 9. They have plenty of time. They do have plenty of time, but they have to start thinking about it. This era score is not going to come naturally at this point, especially for Cats Are Cool. I'm just assuming another is going to honestly miss it. But, you know, I'm rooting for them. We'll see. The reason is just their stat. Like, this is 53 prod. Is like very, very low. it's going to be very tough for them to generate that much era score in 9 turns that they need. But yeah, Yeti and Cats are cool. Can probably hit a golden age if they start planning around it and thinking about it right away. It turns out Yeti is not even finished in Econda yet. This is his first Econda, I think. He has another one here that hasn't been built yet. It's under construction. So that's +4 era score right there. And then he can get some more era score by being the only one getting great generals. +1 point every time he recruits one. Typically, you need 1 wonder to secure a second golden age. Yeah, you don't always need 1 wonder, though. It's like sometimes you just, like, if you meet a lot of players in the second age, like you only met like 3 players in the ancient era, and then you meet the remaining 6 in the classical era, and you get the era score for having met everybody in the world, and you get like some high adjacency districts. Like we see here, 94 doesn't have a wonder, and he's just doing fine on era score. I mean, got era score for +3 campus, got era score for +4 industrial zone coming up. Got era score for a +4 commercial hub. This will actually give him his golden age right here. This is 3 era score when this finishes. That's all he needs. And that's with 8 turns left. So I remember somebody saying he was on like 30 something points on turn 31. And somebody was like, oh, he's going to struggle with his second golden age. And I was like, I wouldn't be so sure. And it seems he's doing just fine. Temple of Artemis, very late. He can chop this out. Very good Temple of Artemis, actually. Lots of camps, pastures. You can build a camp here, pasture, plantation, camp. Temple of Artemis giving you +1 amenity for every camp, pasture, and plantation within 4 tiles, and giving you a lot of food and housing. Overall, just a solid wonder, and he will be securing this, I think. Colosseum being started by another. I don't see anybody else on Colosseum, so you might actually get this. Somehow Poland is struggling to finish off the Germany. A bit funny how much he's struggling here. The AI. And it doesn't look like he committed that much. He just killed Ulm and Lublin. No, Lublin's his city. Yeah, Ulm is the only one he killed. Conquered that. Doesn't Poland get wiped by Basil? Yeah, maybe later in the game. Basil will wait a bit. The problem is Basil's timing is a bit awkward into Poland, because if he wants to go with knights, and Poland might be vulnerable because they have pretty lousy culture. Poland gets their unique unit at Reformed Church, which is a Cuirassier replacement with 64 combat strength. The window where you can use knights against Poland before their unique unit kicks in is very small. So that would make this actually a pretty difficult push if he was trying to use his unique unit. So if I were in Basil's position, I wouldn't actually go for a medieval age war. Like, I would not go for my unique unit. I would wait until later and maybe go at like tanks or something. Because this timing window is just going to be awkward into Poland. Also, Poland took your religion. He took Crusades. So we have a Byzantium with no Crusades here. Going to make it a little bit harder for this push to work. Looks like he might be going for it anyway, though, because we see a heavy chariot coming out, and we see an encampment being chopped. We'll keep an eye on this and see if he decides to go for a unique unit push, or if he just waits until later. How does war timing even really work? Like, what things are you thinking about? Certain units represent bigger power spikes than others. The heavy cavalry tend to be the bread and butter of most push timings in Civ 6. So, like, ballistics can work. Military science can also work with, like, a cavalry focus push. These two techs are, like, push timing. The earliest one in free-for-all that I think should work against a skilled player, if you have a really, really good spawn, is, like, knights. You can go, like, a knight push if you have a really good spawn and the other player is, like, falling behind. And have it work out. But most of the time, it's not going to work, because even if you win the war, you need to, like, crush a war with knights for it to be worth it. There are a lot of good great people, a lot of good wonders that are available in the medieval age, medieval era. And if you're focused on building military units, you're not competing for those great people or wonders. So you need to like be able to kill somebody with just a couple of knights that you like blitzed out really quickly, or else you get trapped in a really long war and you end up falling behind the people who are not warring. The most classic FFA timing is just tanks in free-for-all games. The thing about tanks is that even if you get stuck in a prolonged war with tanks, right? First off, they absolutely roll industrial era units. If somebody's behind in science, they cannot hold tanks at all. So it's just like a free kill if they don't have a modern era unit of their own. And second, even if you get stuck in a prolonged war, there's not much infrastructure left to build, so it's okay. You're not going to fall behind the guy who's not warring just because you're building tanks, at least not so much, because all that's left to build is research labs and then win conditions, right? Like spaceports and stuff. Whereas with like these earlier timings, there's still a lot of wonders, still a lot of great people, still a lot of basic infrastructure like factories and stuff that you're sacrificing by building military units. Sure, you've been asked many times, any Civ 7 content on the way, waiting for UI patches. I will definitely be making more Civ 7 content once the quick movement update drops in like 9 days. I'll probably be making some before then, like a little bit, but I'll return to play a lot more Civ 7 once they finally add quick movement to the game. Hopefully some other UI changes coming as well. The March 25th update is supposed to be pretty big. Great Library being built over here. Very good wonder. Main thing that makes Great Library so good is just it gives you these free Eurekas. So everything on here is like pretty solid and usable, but the main thing is that it gives you a random tech boost after another player recruits a great scientist. And it might not sound like much, but you're getting like hundreds of science, maybe even over 1,000 science in the like mid to late game, just from getting tech boosts from other people recruiting great scientists. Right? It can give you tech boosts that you couldn't get otherwise. Like it could give you a random radio. You're never boosting radio in a normal game. So that's just like, hey, you just got like 40% of 900 for free. And ultimately it ends up being a lot of science. Because you're gonna get like 9 or 10 free Eurekas over the course of the game from people recruiting great scientists after you build this. It can also boost stuff like rocketry. The free random Eurekas from other people recruiting great scientists. Let me see here. What do we have? We have 5 turns left until golden or the next age. Seems like everybody's doing fine on golden except for another and the AI. Yeti still has to generate 7 points. That shouldn't be too hard. Cats are cool. I'm pretty sure he needs 10 more points. When it says 39 out of 39, yeah, it's 50. 40 out of 50. So he needs to somehow generate 10 more points over the next 5 turns. He's making his unique unit. He's making his first horseman. This is +4. This is +1 era score. I'm sure he can manage to dig out 5 somewhere. He has 5 turns to do it. It's definitely possible for him to hit his golden age. Blaze saying that he's going to build some units just to be safe. By the way, did he ever make more settlers? Is he still simming on 5 cities? Oh, this is like pretty big mistake. Like turn 53, 5 cities, you will never scale. The thing is, he's on like 137 prod, right? It looks good. But that's because he's already built all of his industrial zones. He's built workshops. He's like focusing on building out these 5 cities as much as he can. Whereas other people, this guy has 172 prod. He hasn't built as many industrial zones or workshops and stuff. He just has more cities. And so he still has stuff left to build. All of these cities can still build their industrial zones and stuff. He's going to scale like much, much better. Just because you need to be on generally a minimum of at least 8 cities around the turn 50 benchmark is what good players tend to aim for. Here we see this player is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in addition to those 8 cities, he has 2 more settlers running around. So he will be on 10 cities. Wait, did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. He has Singapore, so that's 9. And then he'll be on 11 cities with these 2 settlers. Any interesting great people going? We're about to see this great merchant go. Not too notable, but what is notable is who may be offered next. We might see a trade route capacity merchant up for grabs any moment now. Byzantium also running projects for a great general. So I think it's like a near certainty that Byzantium is going to go for a war here with a medieval timing. You would not be running projects, building this many heavy chariots, building trebuchets, and projecting a great general unless you were planning to go for a war. And Poland being one of the newer players in this lobby, I think is probably completely clueless. They don't have any encampments built. You need to get an encampment out. You need a great general. Unless you have a great general, like, you're not going to be able to hold. But yeah, because he's going to be taken super unaware, he's not going to have any units over here prepared, I think. He's chopping Theater Square festivals when he needs to have some units. He needs to have an encampment somewhere. Like, the tell is, even no matter what he scouted, right? No matter how little he scouted or how much he scouted, one thing that he could definitely see is going to be, he can see this red number going up. He can see that says 240 military strength, and he can see that there are great general points being projected for, right? He completed an encampment training project to get a burst of great general points earlier. So you have to know that Byzantium's up to something if you can see those two things. But that's like an awareness thing. You have to be a pretty experienced player to be able to do that. Still General is great, free book. Yeah, but it's not like running projects to secure it. Great. And it's not building 4 heavy chariots and 2 trebs. Like, this is going to be a war. You wouldn't make this many units just for show. Still no settlers coming out. We're going to see the England. Oh, we do have a settler here, actually. Going to be on 6 cities. It's going for a research alliance. Can we see here? We do not see a friendship here. When we click on this player, we should be able to see any declared friendships we have, but we don't see a declared friendship with 34. Are we going to see them fight each other? Oh, there it is. It just updated. Just took a turn to update and reflect the actual friendships they have. Once they declare the alliance, they will have better trade route yields to each other, and they can start trading to each other instead of trading to city-states or sending them internally or whatever they've been doing. We also see a great merchant project coming out here. Right, commercial hub investment. Byzantium passing this and then running the project probably wants... The governor title's nice. This is a fine, great person. But he might want to pass this again and then take the one that gives a trade route capacity. Because I think that's guaranteed to come next. Right? There's this one that gives extra yields on internal trade routes. And there's this one that gives a governor title. And then there's the one that gives a trade route capacity. And there might be one that gives an envoy and some gold, I think, in the medieval era. So it's a 50-50 shot that if he passes this, he'll get the trade route capacity, which is preferable to the gov title, generally. This is the first player to get 10 cities down over here. 94. I haven't looked at Ethiopia in a while. How are they doing? They have solid prod, solid faith, okay stats. They might be scaling pretty well here. We have an encampment coming out. Could just be for safety, just a discounted encampment. Maybe he just wants to make sure he's not caught off guard from an attack from Zulu or something. He's getting a aqueduct down here to get a big industrial zone at the center of his empire. Also has an industrial zone and an aqueduct up here. Honestly, Ethiopia looks like they have a pretty solid game going here. Good setups. How many great writers have they gotten? We can see Maori unable to recruit great writers. This is one of Maori's malices, like their penalties that they have to suffer. Even though he has 113 great writer points, just isn't allowed to recruit them. So Ethiopia with 11.5 great writer points is the one that's getting them the fastest passively. I believe this is its passive points. Poland just running projects. He has a bunch of great person points because he ran a project. Yeah, see, it dropped to 3.4. The reason Ethiopia has like 11 points passively is this Oracle plus Pingala. Oracle giving you 2 great writer points. Amphitheater giving you 1. Theater Square giving you 1, and then Bengala doubling those. So he's getting 8 writer points per turn in one city. And he's just getting like 3 from somewhere else. Colosseum finished over here. 1 turn left in the era. Let's see who's getting their Golden Age. Cats Are Cool is 1 point off. Oh, he got it. He got it. He just recruits the great artist. Okay, so he's 1 point off, but recruiting the great artist will get him the point that he needs. So he's fine. It seems like another will be the only human player missing their second Golden Age. With Ludwig being a rage quit AI, obviously not hitting their second Golden Age as expected. We do have a Warlord's Throne from Poland, by the way. So Poland is seemingly prepared to throw down hands, but not prepared to throw hands up here. Also, clicking Ancient Walls just because you can't think of anything better to build is like classic like noob trap. Also, Cahokia. Did I see a Cahokia mound there? They have Cahokia. Yes, Poland taking control of Cahokia. Cahokia mounds are very good. The yields on the tile are irrelevant, but it gives you +1 amenity and +1 housing just for having a Cahokia mound built in a city. So if you just build 1 Cahokia mound in every city, you don't even have to work the tile. You don't work the tile. And it's like you get the Republican Legacy policy card for free, right? It's +1 housing, +1 amenity in every city. It's very good. But it's not taking advantage of it. I don't see any Cahokia mounds built yet. Do Maori Great Rider points auto-convert to Faith? I think they might. I'm not sure. I think they would. That would be good for them for Jesuit education value, which he does have Jesuit education. So Golden Age, Golden Age, Golden Age, all Golden Ages except we have another on a normal age and then the AI on a normal age. And here we see Byzantium paid off. They did in fact pass the governor title merchant and then are going to secure the extra trade route capacity, which is what I assume they wanted. This is a very, very good merchant. 10th city coming out from Georgia here. See here that they have a great writer going into their great library. This is a pretty big theater square, +4, because it's between the pyramids and great library. Nobody here having what I would consider, by my standards, nobody here is having like a particularly great game. Maori is probably the one having the best game out of everybody, just because these stats are pretty fine. They can build a bunch of campuses here. Like we see campuses coming out here and here. They need to put another campus probably up here somewhere. And then use Jesuit education to faith buy the campus buildings, and then take like free inquiry as their Golden Age dedication, which would provide, yeah, we can see it. They actually did that. Free inquiry gives you science equal to your total harbor and commercial hub adjacency, which will help to shore up their science, which is their current weak point. If he can like get his science up quickly over the next couple of turns, he'll be having a pretty solid game. Very good culture, good science, good prod. Honestly, not that great prod for turn 57, but it's like okay. And his prod will get a lot better very soon. He's getting Mercantilism soon, which gives him +1 prod on all unimproved woods and rainforests. First knight coming out over here. We see a lot of knights over here from Georgia. I don't know if you need this many knights. Is he planning to go to war with Poland? Okay, I'm just going to vote for random stuff that hopefully doesn't influence the outcome of the vote.
What?
Yeah, just some random ideas. Vote for
Herson.
turtles and vote for production.
Turtles? No, let's do faith. There's so many religious cities in the game. Surely we can do faith.
Okay, the thing is, I said turtles and you said
I'm concerned about the.
By the way, be faith, right? Be faith.
Probably.
We want to
be
be faith. Yeah.
I think if you put the military.
What I think is going to happen is they're going to vote for. Oh, can I not? It doesn't let me open it up. But for the first resolution, I think it's likely that B will go through, and it'll be either a discount on faith purchasing units or on production producing units. And so by going into A, voting for A, I'm like less likely to influence the outcome of the vote. I mean, spectator mod's a bit scuffed. It doesn't let you abstain from voting. It's because it's a mod. It's not like a built-in spectator functionality that Firaxis made. Is Byzantium a Smurf or not? I mean, if they are, it's not like their pace isn't that remarkable for a Smurf. Like, I wouldn't assume that this is like a top player looking at it. It's a good player, good for sure, but like, I mean, it's not bad for like a 0 sim bonus. Like, this player has literally no bonuses whatsoever to like simming. It's just war bonuses on Basil. So this is actually a pretty solid game. I mean, I would believe you if you told me this was a Smurf. What Golden Age dedication did they go for? They did not go for a free inquiry. They may have just gone pen, brush, and voice again. I think a Smurf, like a very high-rated Smurf, would be more likely to just go for tanks instead of going at knights. Like, the Tagma push here feels slightly suspect. Could just be like a Teamers player. Or maybe, you know what? Guy could just be French. This is how the French players play the game. They just throw units at each other like animals in FFA games when they should just sim up. They could have gone Drums of War. Yeah, that's an option. Could I check that? Does it tell me what their Golden Age is? If I hover it. No, I can hover it and it says pen, brush, and voice. Yeah, whenever I hover it. Pen, brush, and voice. Free inquiry. Pen, brush, and voice. Monumentality again. You usually don't want to go Monumentality twice in a row. So a bit of a exotic play here from Gandhi. Just because when you go... First off, isn't Gandhi like going some... He was trying to cheese religious victory. He went mosque plus holy order plus cross-cultural dialogue. And he's sending units to try to convert cities belonging to other people here. It's like you can't really spare the faith to spend on civilian units if you're going to try to go spend faith on religious units. Either way, I mean, the whole idea of going for a religious victory here is like super insane. Like, there's no way it'll work with this many religious civs if they're any good. So I don't know why he spammed so many apostles or units early. Maybe he's not going for a religious victory. Maybe he just wanted cross-cultural dialogue yields. Who knows? Other Golden Ages, we have free inquiry from Blaze. I can go back to yields. You can see he's on the highest science in the game, 126. We have pen, brush, and voice from the Axe. Free inquiry from Zulu. Monumentality again from Mighty. Again, I like to advise against Monumentality twice in a row. It's usually better to just go like pen, brush, and voice and then spend all your faith on like worship buildings, great people, that sort of thing. Trade route capacity taken by 94. We will start to see some good great scientists being offered as the last great scientist of the medieval era is taken. Hold up. We still have one more behind this one. So we have this one, then there's one more medieval era scientist, and then the Renaissance era scientists are up. And those are some of the best great people in the entire game, such as Ibn Khaldun, who gives extra yields on all of your happy cities, and Isaac Newton, who instantly builds a university and gives +2 science to all universities for the rest of the game. Isaac Newton being particularly good in a game that is there's one blue city-state. The fewer blue city-states there are, the harder it is to get science, the better Isaac Newton becomes. Whereas if there are a lot of blue city-states, +2 science in all your universities isn't that impressive, because you already have like 10 science in all your universities, because you have so many blue CS. With only one, Isaac Newton's +2 is quite significant. Are we going to see? Yeah, okay, we'll definitely keep an eye on this, because this is going to boil over in a moment. Poland recruited a great general. And we have the war declaration coming out. But Poland's great general is all the way over here, and they have no units over here, no walls. Totally unprepared for this attack. But Poland here, this is what I mean when I say it's an awkward timing, even with this city. The city's going to die, like, instantly. But what will be challenging here is that Poland unlocks their unique unit in 2 turns. Reformed Church is where they get their Winged Hussars, and Winged Hussars are like monstrous. Tagmas just lose to Winged Hussars outright because Winged Hussars have 64 combat strength. So we'll see if Poland is able to get there quickly enough to handle this. Grandmaster's Chapel coming out. This will give them the ability to spend faith to purchase military units in all of their cities. That way they can spend their 179 faith. Currently they have 428 in the bank. Oh my god. Bro went monumentality. Look, he went monumentality again, so he can purchase civilian units with faith, and he's sitting on 1165 faith per turn. Bit of a novice player, I think. But yeah, you should be spending this faith. He's only on 126 faith per turn, and yet somehow he's managed to bank up 1165. If you're just sitting on it, you're just wasting it, right? You need to spend it to get the value right away, especially if you can faith purchase civilian units. Where did Poland found religion? We'll start an extra +2 for Basil. Poland founded their religion in their capital, I believe. I can check here. They took away crusades, which is probably really annoying for Byzantium. They can't get crusades on them. Does it tell me which city is the holy site? I'm pretty sure it's this one. Hold up. Plus 1822 pressure. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm pretty sure the holy city is Krakow, their capital. I don't think it's up here. Trying to buy a great person later, maybe? I don't think they're thinking that far ahead. Thames Yard. Also, if you're trying to buy a great person, you don't go monumentality. You don't just sit on this. They are running great scientist projects here. They're running campus research grants. So there is some thought going through their head about getting a great scientist. We may indeed see them spend all their faith purchasing like Ibn Khaldun or something. Let me look over here. Yeah, Lublin's not even going to survive this. Dude didn't even finish the walls. Should have been building the walls instead of finishing off the market here. Grandmaster's Chapel is going to be pretty late here. These units have all moved, so he can't kill the city this turn, but next turn he might actually be able to finish it off right away. Because the Trebuchet can move onto the hill and shoot, and then you can slam it like with 4 different Tagmas. There will literally be 4 Tagmas hitting it. The city dies for sure. Although, Poland, 1 turn away from Reformed Church. I do have to know, does Poland have... Do they have Knights unlocked? Because if they don't have Stirrups... Oh my god, I don't think... Hold on, Stirrups gives +1 food on all pastures, right? They don't have Stirrups. In order to upgrade heavy chariots into Winged Hussars, you need to have unlocked every single unit between the heavy chariot and the Winged Hussar. That means they need Knights. So, with Poland not having Stirrups, which we can tell because they would have had the +1 food on this pasture, with them not having Knights, it will not let them upgrade these to have their Winged Hussars. So they are just going to start folding, I think. Yeah, they're still producing heavy chariots. So yeah, that misunderstanding is going to mean that they will just get blown over, I think. Just needed to be aware of that mechanic, I think is the problem. Can you check the religion names, please? Yeah, they're pay your taxes. Judaism, Hinduism, Shinto, murder, and who stole my fucking religion? Which is Georgia complaining because they probably wanted Jesuit education, which is standard on the Georgia build order, but Maori took it instead. Which it's working great for them. I mean, Maori also wants Jesuit education. He seems to be spending his faith on other things. He clearly already spent all of it on something, so that's why he's building a library instead of faith buying it. I mean, he doesn't have enough faith to buy all of his campus buildings. He's gonna have to produce some of them and faith buy others. You might also want to save faith here to ensure that you can get a great person if one of the good ones comes up soon. Galileo will be the first great scientist to come up from the Renaissance era. Not as good as Isaac Newton or even Khaldun, but still a good scientist nonetheless. Like, don't sleep on Galileo. It's pretty solid. 250 science for each adjacent mountain tile. That's scaled for standard speed. On online game speed, it's actually 125 science per each adjacent mountain tile. It's like if Maori were to move it like over here next to 4 mountains, they would get a 500 science instantly. But yeah, nobody with what I would consider particularly good stats for turn 62 by my standards, but I am one of the top Civ 6 players in the world in terms of FFA, just setting good sim paces. So my standards might be quite high. I was, I think, rank 3 on the all-time leaderboard in CPL when I was banned, like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we see them producing Winged Azars, but they can't upgrade to Winged Azars. They might ask, like, why can't I upgrade to Winged Azars? I wonder if they're going to say something about that. They might have said something in voice chat. I can undeafen to listen to the yapping for a moment.
Yo, can I come hide a rat city in your land, England?
Yeah, fair. But there's a nice little desert with your
I
name
heard
on
you
it.
have very nice rat cities this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a desert with some incense if you want to settle on it.
Huh?
You'll die, but you smell good as you go out.
Take it.
Okay, so Poland seems resigned to death. What's my teamers level? I don't play teamers. It's a little... Asking an FFA player if they'll play teamers is like asking like somebody in the Major League Baseball or whatever when they'll play in the little leagues, okay? Like, come on. Why would I bother demeaning myself by playing in teamers? XD. University's being built over here by Mighty Meek. I think he's honestly in a really good position himself. I really wish that he had gone Pen, Brush, and Voice instead of Monumentality. He would be really, really big with Pen, Brush, and Voice instead. The problem with Monumentality is that you have so many other things that you could be spending faith on instead now, right? Like, you already have, in theory, you already have most of the tile improvements you want, right? You don't really want that many more builders. Because you should have faith purchased enough to like get all of your cities happy in the classical era. What you could do instead is evangelize your religion and then spend all your faith buying like worship buildings like Watts or something. Like, yeah, he got Watts. Spend your faith on that instead of spending your faith on civilian units with the Golden Age dedication. And then use your Golden Age dedication for something else. Chichen Itza was finished over here, by the way, which is part of the reason he has such good culture. Galileo not taken yet. Nobody has... Blaze still has the best science by quite a bit. We can check the tech lead. Despite having the best science, he is not in the lead in techs completed. He is 2 techs behind Mighty Matey and Kamioki. And that might just come down to not managing science overflow the best. Or not triggering as many Eurekas as he could. Science overflow being a mechanic where if you pick up a bunch of cheaper technologies, the science that you generate in excess of what's needed to complete them, like if you have 100 science per turn, then you pick up like ironworking for 48 science. You get that 52 science to carry over to the next tech you complete. So by alternating between cheap techs and expensive techs, you can increase the efficiency with which you're able to complete technologies. That's how somebody with lower science, right, could end up with more techs completed than Blaze here. The axe saying he's realizing now that he needs to unlock stirrups to upgrade his units. Yeah, I mean, he could have had knights already, he just wasn't researching it earlier when he needed to be. It's actually so sad that he unlocked his unique unit, like, what, 3 turns ago, and he still doesn't have one yet? That's really sad. If he had his unique unit 3 turns ago, he could have actually held Lublin. It's because its combat strength would be so high. Because 64 combat strength unit will scale every city center in its empire to at least 56 combat strength. And now all of his pre-builds are dying. And that's spreading Byzantium's religion. Not enough to convert the cities yet. Every time Byzantium kills a unit, they spread their religion a little bit. So he needs to kill more units, get his religion as the dominant religion in the Holy City. That'll give him +2 combat strength. Unfortunately, he does not have Crusades, so he will, because Crusades was taken by Poland, so he will never get the +5 combat strength from converting the cities. Georgia also likely skips Celestial Navigation, so it's likely a +1 tech lead. Yeah. Celestial Navigation and Astrology are totally skippable. There's nothing requiring you get these 2 techs. So when calculating who has the tech lead, you can subtract them. So Georgia definitely got Astrology, right? Because they have Holy Sites and Religion, but they probably skipped Celestial Navigation. Whereas if we look at Blaze here, Blaze picked up them both, right? They have Harbors and Holy Sites. The reason we don't count them is because they're not required for anything else. You can actually get every other tech in the entire tree without picking these 2. So in reality, it's like this guy, it says 3 techs ahead, but it's more like 4 techs. He did not pick up Celestial Navigation. Terracotta Army being started, Mahabodhi Temple. Terracotta Army finished over here by the Zulu here. Bit strange to go for Terracotta Army this early. I don't even know if he has a spy yet. He doesn't have an intelligence agency, so I assume he doesn't. One of the reasons you want to build Terracotta Army is that the free promotion it gives to all of your units also applies to spies. Getting a free promotion on like 2 spies or whatever is like really, really good, but I don't think he has any spies yet, so this is just whatever. I mean, it's just a wonder just to have, for the sake of having one, some era score and theater square adjacency. It also denies the wonder from other players, but it's usually not a good enough reason to build it on your own in a free-for-all game. Unless the player you're denying the wonder from is, like, threatening you. Galileo was passed on by Georgia, clearly aiming... Oh, a lot of projecting here. This person generates 68 points. Georgia generating another 122. We're seeing the Winged Azars. Here we go. We can see the evaluations, by the way. They beat the Tagmas quite hard. We can see here, this Tagma is over here is tagged by a Great General, whereas the Winged Azars are not, which is why it's able to like hold on. Plus, it has like huge support bonuses. But yeah, the Winged Azars should just beat these pretty badly. The Winged Azar just needs to not attack over a river into a clump of units that have support bonuses, and it'll be fine. Like, if we look at the Tagma into the Winged Azar here, yeah, the Tagma loses as well. They both lose when attacking each other because the defensive terrain is just that strong. Oh wait, what is this? Georgia conquering one of Kree's cities. Taking the Colosseum. Kree, yeah, they're not long for this world. 22 science, 28 culture. Just a new player. Doesn't really understand what they're doing too much. Doesn't even have apprenticeship. He's not going to be able to get any medieval era units that can hold knights. So I expect Georgia to just kind of steamroll this, because if you don't even have a medieval era unit, you're not going to be able to do anything. See square rigging coming out from Blaze. They will likely be the first one to get to industrialization here, which is very pivotal tech. +1 prod on all mines, and it unlocks factories and coal power plants. Super huge, like massive amount of production. Square rigging being the tech that comes just prior to industrialization. And I know that they already have the other prerequisite of mass production because they unlock shipyards, and they have shipyards built already in their cities. Here, great people. This was passed. We'll see who gets what. There is a great admiral up for grabs that gives a trade route capacity. This is very good. Maori in England should one of them should like pay attention and just run a project or two, because that trade route capacity is worth it. But I don't think they have noticed. We have 38 scientist points per turn. That's another project. 46. Ethiopia's projecting. Another 122. Oh my god. 369. Georgia could take the next 2 great scientists if they want. So they built Great Library, which gives free Eurekas when other people take great scientists. But they decided, you know what? I'm going to take all the great scientists myself. Who cares about the free Eurekas from Great Library? Also, running another project. Do you need this many? Are you planning to take 3 great scientists? Bro is like really trying to take all of them. Let's see here. If they're lucky, what'll happen is this great scientist gets taken this turn, and then we'll see them take both Isaac Newton and Ibn Khaldun, who are up for grabs right afterwards, which would put Georgia in a very good position. Like, suddenly, I would go from, like, not having really considered Georgia that big of a threat to being, like, a huge contender if they get both of the best 2 scientists. See here, still stalemating a bit. Scientists still haven't been taken. Level 4 spy isn't any better than level 3. I think they are. They just have higher success rates. Level 4 spy just has a slightly higher success rate on every mission. If you're running like the really difficult missions, like remove governor in a city that has like an encampment to reduce the success rate, it can be pretty relevant. Are they just pausing for a 10-minute break?
Yes, please.
Oh, I'm not bottom 2. Never mind. Oh wait, is it bottom 2 with or without AI? Forget. I am just
without AI per CPL rules, but
yeah.
It's with AI.
I mean,
Even
I
if
would
push
prefer
back
if you
before,
stayed
I don't
defended just for the viewer.
Oh my god,
experience, and
Georgia.
also it's my
Okay,
turn.
I'll stay.
Oh,
on
Georgia
defense.
got fucked.
I passed. I passed by accident. Fuck
Oh
me.
wait, you clicked. Oh my god, wait, how did you get fucked this bad?
I passed the scientist.
It's
Fuck
so
me.
tragic that you take the worst scientist and then accidentally pass one of the good ones.
Fuck
You
me.
could have double
Ooh.
taken Ibn Khaldun and Isaac Newton if everything went
Fuck
perfect.
me.
I was
I
just I was telling my stream like, oh, Georgia could be in an incredible position if they get both of the good
I
great
wasted entire
scientists here.
turn of watching this. Fuck me.
Who the fuck is
Yeah,
clicking?
Jeff, why are you clicking?
Oh, sorry. Stop clicking.
I'm just allergic to getting anything useful.
Yeah, that
All
misclick.
3 of the good scientists were just
Passing
fucking
Isaac Newton is
slurped up.
so
Jesus
tragic
Christ.
from Georgia.
I
It
saw after
actually
the
screws
pass that it was the mountain one was on me.
I saw
like,
Newton. I was like,
nah,
oh, I can get that next turn, but I would have got it slot ordered. But I think did he faith buy or gold buy, or did he just have
No,
it?
everyone had points.
I think
Oh.
he faith bought it. I think 94 didn't have
Yeah,
quite
because I'm
enough
pretty sure
points.
94 did have the points.
He had like 100 and something points, but not 155 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
really
it was
Speaking
124
of
because somebody
Roti.
actually passed it, which is curious to see Isaac Newton getting passed.
Feeder report.
All right. I'll deafen here. Let me see here. Oh, flood pillaging this tile. Bit unfortunate. Oh, conservation in 2 turns from Maori. So we see here Maori's at 223 prod. At conservation, they get an additional 2 production per turn on every unimproved woods and rainforest tile in their empire. So this will be like a huge power spike for them. We also have the world's first industrialization coming out from Blaze over here in a turn. Unfortunately, the direct rush for industrialization without paying attention to tech, like science overflow management, means that they have fallen very far behind in techs, right? This is what happens when you just click directly onto the tech you want instead of picking up these cheaper techs. Georgia was able to build up a tech lead of a whopping like 6 techs ahead. It says 5, but they skipped celestial navigation, which England did not. So it's really 6 functional techs ahead. Honestly, Georgia would be in a fine spot if they just got the great scientists. If they had gotten both Ibn Khaldun plus Isaac Newton, which they had enough great person points to do, they would be in a pretty good spot to try to compete for first. But without those, they just invested all of their production into spamming campus research grants, and they have like very little to show for it. Not great. Did he get taxes from taking Poland's capital? No, because he hasn't converted it. Unfortunately, Poland's capital is still following Poland's religion, which means that Byzantium will not get the +2 combat strength from having another holy city following their religion. You have to actually convert it. So if he could get like an apostle or missionary there, that'd be great. Also, killing units. If he could kill units, look at this. Look, this is why I said he shouldn't go at knights. Look at the winged Tsars. This is like impossible. The winged Tsars are absolutely devastating for these Tagmas. He needs to kill units because it spreads his religion when he does. And still not enough to convert. Even with that unit dying, he still needs to kill more units to convert the city. But like, how are you going to kill these units? By the way, Timur, does that general work on this? Wait, which general is Timur? Works on medieval and Renaissance units. Yeah, they work. You need a unit that works on Renaissance era units, because Winged Tsars, despite being a Cuirassier replacement with 64 combat strength, they are unlocked at a Renaissance era technology, and thus they count as a Renaissance era unit that needs a Renaissance era general. So this one will work. If they had taken an earlier game general, it might not have worked. Right, like classical / medieval era generals would not work on them. There are so many. Bro, what is this? You don't need this many theater square projects. Dude is kind of psycho here. Going this hard on it. Like, it's not worth it just to get to conservation like a turn sooner. No shot you should be running theater square projects in every city. This is insane. Bro, you're losing more prod running the projects than you get from getting to the civic quicker. And you can't even recruit great writers, so the value of the project is reduced, right? Because part of the value is the great writer points, and you can't recruit them on Maori. So all you're getting is great project or great person points for musicians and artists. You don't even get any real writer points. That's Shadwiga, not tomorrow. Not sure what you meant by that. I don't know what I said that triggered that comment when you said that Shadwiga, not tomorrow, but yeah. Here, bro, it's like insane that Georgia has like no units up here and is able to do this much damage just because this guy still doesn't have a Gov Plaza building, deciding to build one instead of making any units to defend. A bit Arel here, losing cities to loyalty pressure because he's in a normal age and settled really far away. This city's about to flip from Georgia. They took the Colosseum, but they're about to lose it. We might see some great engineers coming up. Oh wait, we already missed these. Isidore was taken here. That was the previous turn by Ethiopia, and then we have Imhotep. So they can get wonders that they want with these Wonder Prod engineers. Another unit dying. More religious pressure. Still not enough to convert anything. Kind of difficult to convert. I would think this city would be very easy to convert because it's 3 population, but it wasn't in range of the unit when it died. You only spread your religion within a certain radius. Yeah, Byzantium suffering the consequences of trying to push into this timing. Do they have a better unit coming up? Ballistics in 4. They can fight back against the Winged Tsars once they get to ballistics. So, 4 turns. How is it 3 pop and it still doesn't convert? That's crazy. It's so hard to convert the city to his religion. His religion is the lion one, by the way. Pay your taxes. This icon is Poland's religion. Oh yeah. England has mausoleum, so they get the extra charge on this. So he has 2 charges on Imhotep instead of the normal 1. By the way, when playing without the Better Balance game mod, it gives you 2 charges on this guy by default, but BBG nerfs it to 1. Nationalism in 3, yeah, also has nationalism in addition to ballistics. So the being able to form cores will help as well for Byzantium. Plus 10 combat strength on a core compared to the earlier units. How are we looking at for the yields? First off, cats are cool. Still spamming theater square projects. Completely insane. And he got conservation. So look at these yields. He has 7 prod on these tiles. 7 prod here. Like, explain to me why you would build a theater square festival here instead of making a building in your preserve. Also, unimprove this. You have a preserve here. Also, another thing that you can do, right? Another thing that you should do on Maori. Plant woods. You gain extra yields on all unimproved woods. Conservation also unlocks the ability to plant woods, right? Builders can plant woods. What you do on Maori once you get conservation is you spam builders and you plant woods on every tile that you can, so that all of your cities, not every tile that you can, but enough that every city is working entirely woods tiles. You don't want cities working like on non-woods tiles, right? Like this city probably doesn't have enough woods. It's probably working like a 2-2 stone. That's like terrible. But if you plant woods here, this becomes a 2-6 tile. So move a builder here, plant woods, 2-6. You can also chop all of your other existing woods tiles, and then replant them. So if you want a bunch of production, run around, chop all this, and then just replant, and you get like an enormous amount of production that way. Your builders should also be dirt cheap still, because the cost of builders scales only with the number of builders you've made so far. And as Maori, because you're working all these unimproved tiles, you haven't made many builders. You made very few builders. So it could be that even though it's like turn 70, his builder still only costs like 45 production or something like super cheap. And he could just like one turn builders in every city like easily. So that's generally how you like leverage the conservation power spike, but he's not doing that. Let's check over here. Still, Winged Hussar is just demolishing these. What's more, Winged Hussars get even more damage than is listed, right? Because if a Winged Hussar hits a unit, it tries to force it to retreat. It pushes the unit back a tile. But if the unit is unable to retreat, like if it's blocked, this unit can't retreat because every tile behind it is blocked by another unit. It takes extra damage. The same is true of here. If you were to slam this, it would not actually be an even trade. Poland would actually win that trade just because the Winged Hussar's ability would activate, dealing extra damage to this unit because it can't be pushed back a tile. Camille Key is still crying about accidentally clicking pass on Isaac Newton, the most tragic thing I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, like, they would have been primed to win this game if they had gotten Newton. Special Congress session. Poland needs to form a defensive line for when Tagmas upgrade to Cuirassiers. Yeah, it seems like he switched off researching ballistics, by the way. He's researching military tactics. Is this because he thinks he can get the Eureka for ballistics or something? Why would he switch off ballistics? I don't see any military engineers being produced or having already been produced, so it's not for the Eureka. But yeah, the Eureka for ballistics is build 2 forts. So if you make a military engineer, you can just build 2 forts, get a Eureka here, get some progress. It is not why he switched off of it. We see some cores being formed up here. Should help to hold the line here. Yeah. The Axe, which is the Poland player, saying not courts. It's over. Unfortunate. Blaze here with the most production per turn. Despite they were simming on 5 cities for an eternity, they settled like 3 cities very late. but it's just a matter of them having industrialization before everybody else. They finish industrialization. Other players don't have industrialization, and so they have factories giving them extra yields. What's more, I don't even think the factories are powered yet, so this prod's going to get a lot higher. Once they finish a power plant to power the factories, factories will give 10 production to every city within 6 tiles that does not already have a factory in range of it. The reason it's 10, right? It'd normally be 6, but England gets +4 of every yield on any building that requires power. So a factory, since it requires power, will give +4 of its respective yield, which is production, and it gives that in an AoE. The same would be, they would also get extra yields on like research labs. They get extra yields on stock exchanges. England bonuses are pretty solid. But yeah, I think he might actually get the +4 even when it's not powered. I don't know. Either way, buildings that require power give extra yields on England. I don't actually know if they require power to do it. The funny thing, it might be that buildings that require power give +4 of their respective yield, regardless of whether or not they're actually powered. Any notable great people going soon? We have the crappy great engineer up first. There are 2 really good Renaissance era great engineers, but then there's also one really bad one, and this is the really bad one. So before we get to see the 2 good ones, which are Leonardo da Vinci and Filippo Brunelleschi, we have to get through Mimar Sinan, who is... Everybody wants to pass on this one, honestly. Forbidden City being built over here. This is what he'll be using this Wonder Prod engineer to construct. I see he has figured it all out. Do you see the cores beating this back? Okay, he converted one city over here. So Radam is converted, but he needs to convert Cacao. This is the holy city. First musketman was finished over here. Curious. I think he's building 3 musketmen for the Eureka. There is a Eureka here, replaceable parts, own 3 line infantry. So if you build 3 musketmen and then upgrade them after you get military science, that gives you this Eureka. It's a bit early for him to be thinking about that, actually. He only has 28 techs completed. He really does not need to be thinking about getting that Eureka. So, I don't know. Maybe he just built the musketmen because he was scared he'd be attacked. Look at the apostles. Do they have any notable promotions? Oh yeah, I forgot. Was this guy going for a religious victory? He was spreading it earlier, but it seems like he might have given up on it. I don't see any apostles from this. Is there an apostle over here? There is one over here from Byzantium. This operates as a medic. And this one doesn't have a promotion yet. But we will see some apostles coming in here to ensure that Byzantium has as difficult a time as possible of converting this. Oh, this one, proselytizer. This is the exact promo you want, by the way. This is the best possible one for converting other cities to your religion as Byzantium. Eliminating their own religious pressure. Hello world, turbo fumbled. I'll withdraw it, start next turn. Oh, he's saying that he's just going to quit? I mean, that's fine. Honestly, he's irrelevant to the outcome of the game. That is the Cree player. This city's rebelling. The city will rebel sooner or later. Named it's Jover. Georgia able to hold on to the Colosseum. Honestly, Georgia might still be in this, even though they fumbled Isaac Newton by misclicking and passing him. Just the fact that they're getting some free cities up here is pretty nice. Although this, let's be real, this isn't much of a city. This is almost like you want to raise it. Yeah, they're just gonna unpause. He's like a rel. Really not impressed with Mistowis. This one is worth taking and keeping though. It already has a finished commercial up in market. You can repair these. I would take and keep this. Take and keep this. This has infrastructure built out, but honestly, you can just raise this because it'll take away your amenities is the problem. It dilutes them a bit. It is in range of Colosseum. It is in range of the Colosseum, so you get +2 amenities in the city baseline and +1 culture. There is an argument to be made that it's actually worth keeping it on that account. I think it's actually fine to keep it. I had not considered that. But otherwise, having a city that has like nothing built out on turn 73 is just going to drag all of your luxury resources into that city, and then you're going to struggle to hit amenity breakpoints like +3 and +5 in your core cities where it actually matters and gives you extra yields. Great lighthouse for Era on England. I wasn't even thinking about Era score. Oh my god. 4 turns. 94 should be hitting it no problem. 4 turns to generate 3 Era score. That's easy at this point. Camille Key already got it. That's to be expected. Georgia gets extra Era score because whenever they choose a Golden Age dedication, they also get the normal age dedication, which means in Penbrush and Voice. What is the normal age dedication for Penbrush and Voice? Anytime you build a building that grants science culture as a base yield, you get +1 Era score or something. I don't know. But yeah, they get extra Era score. A lot of other people struggling. This is not as important as the earlier Golden Ages. I would say missing the Renaissance era Golden Age is not going to ruin your game, usually. It's not like the medieval or classical where it's like you absolutely need it. Mighty Matey needs 8 more Era score. MZ Odd, if he wants a Golden Age, he's going to need to get a lot more, like 14 more. Cats are cool. No way. Dude, I think it's super unlikely. He needs like 20 more Era score to get a Golden Age from this position, so he's just gonna dark. Still spamming Theater Square projects. Insane. Not optimal, I would say. He's just not scaling because he's building spamming Theater Square projects instead of like anything else. Like the city doesn't have a university. Why are you running a Theater Square project here? Please finish the university, I beg you. By the way, Forbidden City being finished by Ethiopia here, by the way. Good wonder. Extra wildcard policy slot. What's up with this over here? Looks like there's an undefended city over here. Maybe dying soon. Simply, there are no winged hussars to hold over here. How close is he to ballistics? Still 4 turns on ballistics? Yeah, I think, did he grab industrialization first? No, he doesn't have industrialization. I can tell because industrialization gives +1 prod on all mines. Right? This gives it away. These 2 3 mines, these would be 2 4s with industrialization. So I don't know why he delayed ballistics that much if he's not going industrialization. You can see here, these are 2 4s. And we see the prod passing 500 as he now has power being provided to his factories. I'm gonna go grab something to eat right now. I'll be back in like 20 seconds. I just need a quick snack to chew on while I'm watching this. Because we had a scrapped game earlier. It's the thing. Right? I've been sitting in this chair for like 5 hours now. Hold up. I have returned. I have a cold slice of pizza to eat. Okay. Oh, wait, did he finish? Oh, he finished. He finished ballistics. I was misreading it. When it showed the empty circle and said 4 turns, I thought that meant he was just starting it, but he had actually just finished it. So we see the upgraded cuirassiers coming through. And cuirassier cores are going to be able to beat. Even still, it's struggling a bit to beat this, which is crazy. Does Poland have a spy in his land? Is it just because Poland has printing? They have extra Diploviz. You can see here, +3 intel, +3 combat strength from intel on opponents' movements. Like Byzantium does not even have printing, which is a technology that gives an extra level of Diploviz with everyone in the game. That extra level of Diploviz being 3 combat strengths. Very good. But yeah, neither player has a spy on each other. Okay, Georgia is now culturally dominant over me. Georgia actually leading the world in tourists accumulated just because they got so many early wonders. They do have the pyramids here, the Great Library, Petra, and they got a couple of great writers. Let me check here the yields. You can see here, do the cuirassiers try to make a move through here? I assume this one's going to come over here and ensure that dies. Camille K and Mighty Matey. Probably the 2 most relevant players for first. Blaze looks relevant, 526 prod, 233 science. Problem is, honestly, just kind of far behind in text complete. 31. Actually, they're catching up just because they have a lot of cheaper texts left to research. I guess science overflow management doesn't matter as much if players just have low stats in general is the thing. Because like nobody ever gets to that 1 tech per turn pace where it's like science overflow management really starts to shine through and translate into a real tech lead. Because Blaze fell behind in techs earlier because they were researching all the expensive techs first, and then caught up because they researched all the cheap techs. If Camille K had, like, let's say they had 300 something science per turn, Blaze would never be able to catch up because they would be able to complete 1 tech per turn anyway. Field cannon coming out over here from 94. Field cannons, I think, will be critical to making a breakthrough on this front. That or just waiting for tanks, honestly. Didn't have iron working yet? That's funny. He did not have iron working completed. Foreign ministry from Georgia. Not what I would go for, given that he doesn't have Jesuit education. So he doesn't really have anything in particular to spend his faith on, is the thing. Yeah, he's sitting on 1471 faith. So I would go Grandmaster's Chapel just so I could spend the faith. Foreign ministry is pretty popular in Georgia because that building grants you. Hold up, it doesn't show up anywhere in the civics tree, so if I want to look for it, I have to go into the Civilopedia and show you the effects there. Oh. I'm navigating this with the hand I usually don't use because I'm eating pizza with my dominant hand. Yeah. Influence points and +2 envoys right away. That's really why you would go for it on Georgia, and extra combat strength and levied units. But the +2 envoys, +2 influence points synergizes with Georgia getting a bunch of bonuses towards city-state control. So you often see foreign ministry being built on Georgia. It's just that it doesn't make as much sense as Grandmaster's Chapel when you don't have anything else to spend your faith on, when Maori takes away Jesuit education from you. Apadana, these are old notifications. Ruhr Valley, though, that's new. And Angkor Wat. 2 more wonders coming out from Georgia. Ethiopia in a fantastic spot. I think the 1 turn left in the era. And we're going to see this. Ethiopia is probably going to pull away here because Ethiopia is in monumentality. These stats are completely real. 270, 257, these are going to stick, right? Ethiopia, I've said this before, I think it's the best civ on the current patch of BBG. The best civ for FFA. And here we're going to see it pop off. Also, Temziad, these stats are also real. He's also in monumentality. But like Blaze, free inquiry, a lot of his science is from free inquiry. So this 253 science is about to like drop pretty heavily. as the era rolls over, and he no longer has the choice of taking free inquiry. Similarly, Kamilke is going to lose Penbrush and Voice. 94 is going to lose Penbrush and Voice. Cats Are Cool is going to lose free inquiry. So Temziad and Mighty Matey are going to be the only ones whose stats are unaffected by the era rollover. By the way, who's hitting Golden Ages? Temziad is missing their Golden. Blaze hits. The Axe misses. Yeti misses. These two are going Dark Age. Dark Age is fine. You can go Dark into Heroic Age with the extra dedications next. Normal Age is kind of bad, though. I mean, you never really want a Normal Age unless you like need the loyalty pressure, and a Dark Age wouldn't have got it. Monu or Reform. Hold up. People realizing they could just ask me a question, I'll just answer it. I wouldn't go Monumentality because he should just be spending his faith on Grandmaster's Chapel, right? You can faith by units? Yeah. You want to faith by units. You don't want to faith by like builders and settlers and stuff. That wouldn't be as good. You're kind of in the middle of a war. Here we see hasn't chosen his Golden Age dedication yet. He's chosen Reform the Coinage Dark Age. Monumentality from Georgia. Monumentality again from Temziad. Reform the Coinage from Ethiopia. Blaze going Reform the Coinage. The Axe going Dark Age. Dark Age, yeah. And we have Reform the Coinage from Basil. Herson, can you kill 94 IRL? My only chance is for a tactical heart attack. Bro. This isn't Death Note, okay? I can't just kill people and giving them heart attacks. And for what it's worth, I would not, if I could, I'm not going to kill 94 just for attacking somebody in a video game. What's your general take on third Golden Monu? I just don't like it that much. You just usually already have most of your tile improvements built. You usually already have all the cities you want settled. The main reason you go Monu third age is really just to spam settlers to get more score, because the game's going to be CC'd soon, and you want to get like 4th place instead of like 5th place or something. You just need to pass somebody in score, so you spam settlers. It doesn't help much else. Oh my god, Maori producing things other than Theater Square projects. That's crazy. Finally decide to do that. We'll just... I don't think the first resolution matters at all. Here... I'll just do discount on nuclear. And here... just lose points on whoever. Let's see. This is a pretty low impact Congress. I don't think this will change anything. Ban production. Okay, this changes a lot. Banning production of coal changes a lot, actually. That means that anybody who hasn't built their coal power plants yet now can't. Byzantium is like a clear person that got screwed over hard by this. Like 94, not ever going to be able to build the coal power plants because of the World Congress banning them is just devastating. The players who've already built them are going to be like happy with this, right? Blaze is fine. He's already built his. I think Mighty Matey has already built multiple coal power plants. Oh, not all of them. Oh, has he built any? Wait, I don't see a single coal power plant anywhere. Oh, he could be very unhappy then. Wait, what did he vote for? Yeah, he won discount on coal. He went all in on it, just didn't win. Unlucky. This guy's fine. He already has his power plants. Guy's fine. Wait, who else? Who voted to ban? Maori have? Zulu. Zulu banned them. Does Zulu have its coal power plants yet? Why are you banning coal power plants when you don't have any? Usually not a good idea to ban them if you have not built any yet yourself. Well, why does the spectator vote too? Because Firaxis did not implement spectator mode themselves. So a community-made mod was designed to enable players to spectate, and it's scuffed. The fact that the spectator is required to vote in World Congress is part of the scuff of the mod. Very unfortunate. Usually, competitive games will have two spectators who will deliberately cancel each other out by voting, both putting one vote on every resolution and voting for the thing that they think is like the least likely to pass or affect the game while doing it. But this is a casual game, so I don't really care that I offset every vote by one. It hasn't actually changed the outcome of any of the votes yet. If my camera goes idle, it's because I'm taking a bite of pizza. Poland losing all the cities that they conquered off of the AI earlier. We had a Germany player that rage quit after having a settler stolen and missing their first golden age. And Poland just came up and killed the AI. They split it in half alongside Georgia, Kamilki. And now those German cities are becoming 94 cities. Also, this rebelling city from Free. Free is now an AI because they left after they had two cities die and were just way too far behind to really be relevant or defend themselves. Very new player, I think. Georgia still has the tech lead, but only by one. They're only one tech ahead of Ethiopia. And I don't see them staying one tech ahead on 227 science. There's no way this is enough to complete a tech every turn. So we will definitely see Ethiopia catch up and possibly overtake Georgia in techs completed, assuming that Georgia does not get their science up stat. And that doesn't look like what they're doing. It looks like they're just spamming military units. Or spamming encampments, sorry. I mean, they don't have much that they can do to get their science up anymore, right? I think every city already has a campus with a university. Well, this one doesn't have a university yet, but it will build one in a moment. The city could also use a university. Honestly, you could build University of Sankor here. That would be really good. What he should do is get a... does he have a lot of gold? 608 gold. Buy a library and university here, and then build University of Sankor. It's a really good wonder. It gives an extra trade-out capacity and gives +1 science and +2 gold on all trade routes in BBG. And then it gives an additional 3 science per turn on top of that, which is also, like, nice. This is a lot of science, a lot of gold from the trade-out capacity, and it can only be built on desert adjacent to a campus with a university. So this meets the placement requirements, which are very stringent and mean that it's usually not contested very hard. First bombard. Zulu, we should watch this. There's clearly something going on over here. Wait, can I see who he's allied with? Is he going to go... It looks like he's going for Ethiopia. This does not work on industrial era units. You see here, it says it works on medieval and Renaissance era units. He is going to be attacking Ethiopia, who does, I believe, have Grandmaster's Chapel, which would allow them to faith purchase units. Might be holdable. Wait, how much faith does he have banked? Only 168. He has 342 per turn. I don't know what units he has unlocked, but he should be able to faith purchase. Yeah, he has Grandmaster's Chapel. He can faith purchase land units in any of his cities. And that is what he needs to do. Ethiopia, if Zulu does actually manage to like make progress here, Ethiopia is a lot better to attack than Maori in general because Maori does not have any tiles to pillage generally. Maori doesn't build tile improvements, you see. It's just a bunch of unimproved tiles. And that makes it like a lot harder to snowball off of killing Maori compared to killing somebody like Ethiopia. The only problem is that Ethiopia is a lot stronger than Maori is right now. Might be a bit difficult to kill him long term. Although this city's dead for sure. There's no way they can hold this city. This one's just getting blitzed down. Ethiopia picking up ballistics next turn, which Yeti on Zulu does not have themselves, but they do have armies unlocked already. Zulu getting access to earlier armies. They get the ability to form corps all the way back at mercantilism, or mercenaries back here, and then they get the ability to form armies at nationalism, which is where everybody else gets the ability to form corps. But yeah, the ballistics here will unlock the cuirassiers, allowing Mighty Matey to defend himself. General link to cavalry dies of cringe. Yeah, a bit. Just because the general is limiting the movement range of the cavalry. I don't think this is enough, actually, to knock Mighty Matey out of contention for first place. I think he could lose this city, start to beat back Yeti with his superior stats and techs, and ultimately come away on top. Also, everybody else is just not doing super hot. I mean, Kamilki is probably the one who I think is most likely to like capitalize on this. Temsyad also surprisingly doing well, just very low prod. 287 prod to 594. I don't really consider Temsyad, who is 2 techs behind of Kamilki and 200 less prod, to be likely to be able to catch up. Also, the way they've been playing this game tells me that they're probably just a less skilled player than Kamilki in general. There have been a lot of suspect decisions. Anything happening interesting over here? Oh, yeah, this is... The breakthrough has come. I don't know what happened. Oh my god, what is this? Bro. Holy. Poland. Huh. Maybe not the best time to take a bite of pizza, but Poland giving up, abandoning all of their own cities to attack England. Furious. And England totally unprepared. Like, no military whatsoever. Dude's on 210 military score. Maybe should have respected this a bit more. But, like, honestly, England could actually lose to this push. What's funny is Poland is not going to be able to like reinforce this with any units. First off, all their cities are about to die. Right? And because they abandoned it. And then they just have so many units, and this person has so few, that they could just lose Stoke-upon-Trent and Leeds before they even get more units built. And then it's just kind of like a pain. Okay, let's look over here. We have Zulu here taking a city off of Ethiopia. We see Ethiopia is... This is what I meant. Like, they could easily like rally and be fine because they can faith buy a bunch of cuirassiers, get some units instantly. They have good prod, much higher prod than Zulu, actually, twice as much prod, even after losing the city to Zulu. And yeah, suddenly this is looking kind of hard for Zulu to break through. And Mighty Matey doesn't have to push back right now. They just need to hold off until tanks, right? They have way higher science, 309 versus 192. If Mighty Matey can just make it to combustion first and get tanks, it's kind of over. They can just push back against Zulu and kill them. Also, Zulu having access to earlier armies is not going to matter anymore in 4 turns, as Mighty Matey will be getting mobilization, which will allow them to form armies of their own. Oh, I misclicked there. I meant to click yield. 0 pillages, full bum rush? Yeah. I mean, what is this Zulu player? Is Yeti going to attack into Maori at all? Cats are cool. We will see. I mean, no, he is allied with them. Okay, they have an alliance here. Wait, who does Cats Are Cool have an alliance with? We'll see here. It takes a moment to update, but I click here and then they have one with Mighty Matey and Yeti, so they're not planning to join the war against Mighty Matey, I think. They are making some units here. Although 2 trebuchets could just be for the Eureka. There's a Eureka for building 2 trebuchets. It's the siege tactics Eureka, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to war just because he's building 2 trebs. The only way that he could go to war is by backstabbing one of his 2 allies. See the units coming through here. I'm super curious what goes on over here. Dude is so underprepared for this. It's insane. It's actually over. Meanwhile, Cal finally falling. Needs to get this apostle in here, convert the city to get the +2 combat strength. This is a holy city, so if Byzantium converts it to their religion, they get +2 combat strength on all of their units for the rest of the game. Well, as long as it remains converted. If the city gets unconverted to their religion, then they would lose the +2 combat strength. Somebody says, at Herson, how do you keep up with culture when you are playing for science victory? Generally, just being overall well-rounded and good at the game, and pursuing certain... there are a lot of different ways to get your culture up. Some of them are just like having a good city state. Like if you have Kumasi here, this can like single-handedly give you all of your culture needs. Gives you a bunch of culture and trade routes to city-states. Ayutthaya helps a lot, gains culture equal to 20% of the production cost from finishing buildings. With this, even if your listed culture isn't good, you could still have good progress through the civics tree. This is how you see 94 only has 120 culture, right? This 94 player does not have a lot. And yet, somehow, he's still on mobilization at the same time as Mighty Matey, who has 203 culture, like much, much higher. And that difference is purely just the suzerain bonus of Ayutthaya, giving him bursts of culture every time he finishes producing something. Outside of that, there's like sometimes you can make good use of Chichen Itza if you have a lot of rainforest and BBG. Chichen Itza, we see it was built here by Ethiopia. BBG changes it to get +1 culture and +1 prod on all rainforests everywhere in your entire empire. That's a good source of culture. Building a couple theater squares and running some projects to secure some great people could help. Maybe not as many projects as Maori ran, because they were spamming the hell out of them earlier. They've recruited 2 great musicians already and have like 800 unspent great writer points because Maori can't recruit great writers. They were definitely doing an excessive amount of projecting. Ethiopia, by the way, taking the tech lead. Now in the lead, tied with Kamilki, but with higher science per turn. Although Kamilki taking it right back because they finished a tech and Mighty Matey did not. See, field cannons. Yeah, I just don't think Zulu's going to break through here, but they can pillage a lot. They can pillage a lot of tiles. That'll help them. I would be shocked if they ever conquer another city again here. Doesn't look like it's happening. It's really just Ethiopia has double their prod. And on addition to that, has 323 faith per turn and can faith purchase units. So it's even more than double their prod if you can count for that. Does Ayutthaya effect also clear the culture overflow? I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see here. Is Byzantium doing anything else? They are starting to attack this Kree city here. Right, they're looking at that. You might see them make a play for something else after they kill all this. We'll see. Stoke upon Trent. Oh, it's surviving. Actually, the wall's coming through. Huge. Just in the nick of time. So we are not seeing a dying England. Unfortunately, England may be around for a while longer. This unit has the combat strength from Giant's Causeway. This gives +3 combat strength when attacking to all units that move next to it for the rest of the game. All land units. It doesn't work on naval units. So you see here we have the +3 on the pike and shot. Still not enough to beat the Winged Azar here in the ideal terrain because they have an intel advantage, and that means that Blaze here does not have the printing technology yet. It's the only way that this player could have an intel advantage without having a spy in their land. Printing being a tech that gives +1 level of intel with everybody in the game. They want to take a 10-minute break. Yeah, I mean, usually after it's been 2 hours in a given game, 10-minute breaks are pretty common, just so players can, like, use the bathroom, grab something to eat. That sort of thing. And otherwise, it'd just be impossible. Play Civ, honestly. Games are too long. Somebody said Blaze/Drew puts off the wheel as long as he can without knowing it. Yeah, I mean, he needs to watch one of my videos talking about Science Overflow. Maybe you'd understand that it's not so bad to pick up the really cheap techs in one turn. Doesn't actually slow you down at all getting to, like, the expensive techs at the top of the tree. 94 says if you care about winning Herson novice game, you can have it. Oh. Wait, I thought he said if you care about winning Herson, comma, novice game or whatever. Like, what he meant is if you care about winning a game in the Herson Discord server, that's a novice game. People are talking about, like, conceding the game potentially. We'll see. I mean, this game could go a number of ways. I think the biggest threats for first place going to be Temsiad is probably not with 300 less production per turn than Camille Key. Camille Key, 94, and Mighty Matey are the 3 that I think are likely to be competitive for first place here. I could see if things go right, any of these 3 players potentially winning the game. Now because hold up. Yeah, okay, they put a timestamp XX37, so we have 9 minutes left in the break. I'm going to grab another slice of pizza. Hold up. All right, is utilizing culture overflow realistic, or why is it not mentioned as much? Somebody asks. It's because setting a one civic per turn pace is basically impossible because there's fewer civics in the tree than there are techs, and to compensate for that, they cost more. So, like, if you look here at, like, a early industrial era civic, it's like 606 culture on civil engineering and nationalism, and if you look at an early industrial era technology, it's like, oh, it's actually 634. I think it's mainly just the Eurekas are really easy to get and inspirations are really hard. Oh wait, is this? I think this might not be adjusted properly because I'm spectating. Texts from future game eras are more expensive than ones from previous game eras. No, I think it actually is just that these cost more. It's just that you can get all of the Eurekas, but it's really hard to get all the civics. All the civic inspirations. So it's just difficult, I guess. It's at the 1 civic per turn pace, so people don't care that much about culture overflow. Like, because eventually you'll spend all the culture overflow without even meaning to. Like, the thing that's bad about not managing science overflow is when you're sitting there with 1,000 science overflow and a bunch of cheap techs ahead of you, and you're like, I wish I had just simply spent all the science and had all the cheap techs already. But you can't do that. That just means you research the techs in the wrong order. That doesn't really happen with civics, just because you don't really set a 1 civic per turn pace usually. Dude, the Poland attack on England here is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Just completely abandoning his front. At least he held off. I'll give him credit for holding off 94 long enough that 94 did not just snowball out of control and win the game for free. He held off here until 94 finally got to Cuirassier cores and finally started to push back the Winged Hussars. And then he rotated all of his Winged Hussars around here to grief England instead. If he had rotated them around right away and just let 94 here kill him like 20 turns earlier, then I would have been like, that would be like actual feeding, and I would be very upset. Would have changed the outcome of the game, I think, if that had happened. Okay. Okay, well, this is the funny war. This is the war that's more likely to actually influence the outcome of the game. It's like, how much damage can Zulu really do here? Because I think Ethiopia is a big contender for first. See the military engineers building roads, trying to get the siege units in, I think. Yeah, this we see here now we have Cuirassier armies on the side of Ethiopia. And let me see. I can now check the report screen, see who has oil revealed. Oh, it doesn't let me. I think it's because I'm a spectator. It's just a known spectator bug. Oh, it's because my turn is force ended every turn. So because my turn's ended, whenever your turn's ended, it doesn't let you check the report sources screen. So I think that's why it doesn't let me do it. Unfortunate. But if I could check that, it would tell me exactly who has refining and who does not. I think, does Ethiopia, is there like oil that like gives it away? I mean, this oil tile, this fact that this shows 3 production, does that mean that it is revealed? I think it means he has oil revealed. I think he does. If he has oil revealed, then he's a lot closer to tanks than Yeti. He has considerably higher science. And he already has one of the 2 prerequisite techs for combustion, while Yeti is about to finish his first. Additionally, I think Ethiopia probably already has the Eureka he triggered for combustion, extract an artifact. He probably got that at some point, especially because Ethiopia can faith buy archaeological museums and archaeologists. It's one of their built-in abilities. Whereas I don't expect Zulu to have that Eureka. There's no way he's triggered the Eureka for combustion, so he's going to have to pay the full 934 science here. Let me see here. How's the funny war going? Oh my god. It do be funny. Definitely still is funny. I'll give it that. I am navigating this whole game with my left hand because I'm eating pizza with my right hand. I am not used to using a mouse with my left hand, which is why everything is so slow. Oh, by the way, somebody said that one of these screens actually shows resources. I did not even realize that. I just never used Better Spectator mod. I can see here, he has oil. Mighty Matey is accumulating oil. We see 3 oil here, which means that I was correct in assessing that he already had refining. Nobody else in the game is accumulating oil. Now he has 4 oil per turn. Okay. Let me see here. The 94's Kyocera is coming in to finish off the job. How cruel. Guys, my units are deserting. Oh my god, does he have negative gold per turn? Negative 39? Bro's on negative gold per turn. Yeah, that'll do it. Honestly, you can probably slam through this. Like, as you damage walls, their efficacy decreases, allowing you to do more and more damage to the city itself. Just slamming the walls like twice, and you're already doing like good damage to the actual city itself with each hit from then on. Oh my god, he moved the unit out? Now the city center is even weaker? Okay, he bought the unit back. Yeah, you should slam this. This is actually killable. This unit can still hit it. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands so that I can actually get the pizza grease off my right hand and start using my mouse with it. And then I should be faster with navigating the map. I don't eat with my left hand. I can, depending on the circumstances. But these circumstances don't call for left hand eating. Let's just say that. I have returned, and now my right hand is clean and ready for operating my mouse. Okay, we have Oxford University finishing in 2 turns here. Georgia does have the tech lead, so Georgia's probably just gonna... Honestly, I think this attack was enough to turn the tables and give Georgia the W. Mighty Matey is slowed down a little too much, and now Georgia is only 1 tech ahead now, because they don't actually have enough science to complete 1 tech per turn. But they're about to be more than that, because they finish chemistry next turn, then they get Oxford University. It gives 2 free techs. They got a great scientist right here. Yeah, +4 science on all research labs. And they're able to actually go research labs because nobody's attacking them, right? They unlock research labs next turn. Whereas all of the other strong players are going for like combustion because they need tanks right away. So this safe little nook that Georgia has found themselves in is going to result in them basically just being able to sim to victory, I think. I mean, Byzantium would have to hit them like right away in order for Georgia to not win this, I think. We will see. What happened to their stats? I think it decreased because they like what finished a wonder that gave us extra district slot. And then it like knocked out their government. Yeah, that's what happened. They finished the Alhambra and that knocked out their government. And because of that, their stats went down. If I go here, I can check their government. They have an empty slot. Once they fill the slot, these other cards will kick in again and we'll see their stats skyrocket. Yeah. For some reason, having any empty policy card slots in your government knocks out the effects of every card you have slotted in. I remember they were like much higher prod, culture, and science than this. Just like earlier in the turn. Before they chopped Alhambra. It's not that funny for England, somebody says. Yeah. Leeds actually died. I mean, rough. Bro, like, still going sanitation, running science project, trying to get... Like, what are you doing here? What is going on over here from Blaze? Dude, you need like an industrial era unit like Kyocera's. I think he's just tilted. I think he's just tilted that he got attacked. And so he's just kind of resigned himself at this point. But yeah, the teching here is very suspect. Doesn't even have, I don't think he has, yeah, +6 intel on opponent's movement from Poland. Still doesn't have printing. Bro, printing here gives you +1 level of Diploviz with every other civ in the game. It's +3 combat strength on all units, effectively. He is prioritizing sanitation over getting printing. Maybe he deserved this, honestly. Going chemistry, research labs. By the way, Oxford University finished. I can't see what 2 technologies he completed with that. Oh wait, he didn't have refining yet. I thought he had refining because he was accumulating oil. But the way that he must have been getting oil is the Great Scientist. Yeah, he got the Great Scientist that reveals oil without the technology requirement. That's why Mighty Matey was accumulating oil, even though he hadn't actually completed the refining technology yet. This player has gotten their 20th city. Yeah, 94, quite big. 920 or 942 score. If this were a CPL game, they would be pretty much locked in at 2nd place. Why do I see 1144 military score in this India? Is he doing something? Is he planning something? Doesn't seem like it. It's just a hodgepodge of random units all over the place. With like no obvious plan of attack. By the way, cats are cool. Still in theocracy, going for Cold War. He's going to try to cheese a culture victory here. I don't think it should work. In theory, this culture victory push should probably fail, I think. So theocracy gives you a 15% discount on all faith purchasing. So a strategy sometimes is go theocracy and then go right past the tier 3 governments without picking them up to get to Cold War. And then faith buy like 1 million rock bands with that 15% discount. And then you go back and switch to a tier 3 government. Right? You just delay this until after you bought the rock bands with the discount. So here we see 3,500 faith. That clearly seems to be what he's going for. So once he gets Cold War and buys all those rock bands, he will go back and switch to like democracy or something. I mean, maybe if he gets really lucky with rock band RNG, he could take this one. Nobody is putting up a really good culture defense, to be honest. Domestic tourists here are based on the the way that you win is by getting more foreign tourists, which is this number, than anybody else's domestic tourists. So we see that we have 2 people with 91 domestic tourists. That's why the number he needs to win is 92. Whereas everybody else needs to pass his number of domestic tourists, which was 130. Domestic tourists are earned solely by having a lot of culture. That's all that earns them. So seeing all these lower culture numbers, like 200 culture per turn, turn 87, being like what's blocking it, maybe he could win. Okay. Let's see here. We see artillery being built. Combustion starting to be researched 2 turns. Ideology in 5. Ideology being the precursor to what will give him fascism. And fascism giving him an enormous advantage once he gets to it. 50% prod towards all units, 5 combat strength on all units. Some units being traded back and forth. This one killed the unit on the way in and now it dies. Poland's units. Okay. Okay, this is funny. This is kind of funny that they all snuck around here. I thought he would try to like just go in and pillage Dokkan Trent, but instead of going for that, he just snuck all of them around here, and for some reason, Blaze is just so unprepared to have a bunch of units here. He could lose Bristol. Doesn't seem to really know how to defend this. I mean, you just need walls here, first of all. Should be making walls, not pike and shot. Okay, Blaze, the classic, accusing an opponent of being a pedophile after losing in a video game. I mean, that's just a CPL classic. That's what you get when you play, when you see the types of players that play in the CP League. Would you ever return to tryharding League of Legends? I doubt it, to be honest. Honestly, it would be pretty hard to get back in the league after so long away from it. Also, now that I'm a content creator, I feel like I can't dedicate that much time to a game unless I'm planning to make content about it. And I'm not sure pivoting into League of Legends is a good career decision right now. Probably not the best thing I could be doing. Yeah, you're on a watch list. Quality banter here, I see. Just friendly back and forth. I mean, what sort of friends haven't called each other pedophiles? This was a casual game on a streamer server with no rating, which you are already out of the game. Why are you attacking me? Okay. Okay. By the way, Georgia now has a 4 tech lead and has much more science than anybody else. Still hasn't built out all of his research labs, right? We see he's finishing 2 research labs next turn and then a bunch more over the following turns. This dude's science is going to be way higher than everybody else's in a moment. Currently 422, but will be very high before long. This one community game is more toxic than every CPL novice game I've ever played combined. Maybe. Perhaps. I mean, I don't think there was any like toxicity in chat whatsoever until like just now. The argument between Blaze and the Axe seems to be the only real toxic exchange this game. And we finally see some higher city defense strengths coming out here from England. As Blaze has gotten an AT crew, which will bolster the strength of all of his city centers. And AT crews can mop up winged hussars very easily. What determines the unit city states can make? I don't even know. No idea. I know that at least one player needs to have the technology for them to make them. That's like one of the requirements. It might be that like more than 50% of the players might need the tech, or like the suzerain might need the tech. There's some requirement somewhere like that, but I don't know the specifics. And here are the tanks. Yeah, this is like comical. Like tanks just roll everything, dude. Look at this cavalry. This has a great general. It has +8 support bonus. And this tank is just raw dogging it, like just rolling it without any effort. And that's like an idealized scenario for this cavalry, right? Like if you isolate the unit a little bit more, like this cuirassier takes even more damage. It's fortified, so this tank gets the charge promo value. But yeah, as he upgrades these tanks, we're going to see Zulu struggling a bit. And Zulu is 5 turns away from combustion, so there's actually like no way that he's not going to lose a ton of units here. 5 turns, that's like it's too slow here. Why does 94 only have 388/154 stats with so many cities? One is that he doesn't have high amenities, so he doesn't have the amenity multipliers. Because he's conquered so many cities. Having more cities spreads your luxury resources more thinly. 2 is that these are all very small cities. 5 pop, 4 pop, 5 pop, 3 pop. 5, 5, 6. Like, these are not good cities. Like, you look at somebody who's built it out, that's like 11, 13, 16, 16, 8, 7, 9, 11, 8, 12, 10 pop. And he's just been building up nonstop units for a while. He was spamming nothing but military units for quite a while in the mid game. And that just means that his stats are not going to be as good. Because he doesn't have as much infrastructure built. notably, there are a lot of invisible multipliers that you might not think about that were taken up in the mid game. Like, here we see the tanks coming in. What? Wait, what flood? Flood just nuking all the winged Azars. Major flood, killing one unit and damaging several more, I'm assuming. Saved by Arn. Not, he was fine. Like, the flood didn't change the outcome of the fight. It just maybe means that Poland gets like one fewer pillages off. He has the one city down here, so he doesn't die. But yeah, there were invisible multipliers that are taken in the mid game, like great scientists and whatnot, right? Like, oh, I guess Byzantium actually has Isaac Newton. That's a funny thing. 94 actually managed to get Isaac Newton because Camille Key here misclicked. He clicked pass on Isaac Newton and said that he misclicked it, and that gave it to 94. But yeah, like these yield multipliers from great people can add up and give you bigger stats. Desert Storm coming in and pillaging this. We're seeing some aerodromes come out. Science going up as he continues to build out all of his actual labs and stuff. He needs to get a factory up here, by the way. None of these buildings have power. Coal power plants are still banned, but he can make oil power plants. Speaking of oil power plants, we're finally starting to see power plants come out here from Ethiopia because he was not able to get any power plants up before the Congress banned coal power plants. So taking this opportunity to finally build out some oil power plants is 100% worth it. He's just been sitting here with all these unpowered factories for an eternity. And he does need to fix that. Seems to be struggling to get the gold needed to upgrade these Cuirassier armies. If I see here, he has 281 gold. Needs to get some more. If you could like get a unit in here, pillage a tile for some extra gold, that would help a lot. His gold per turn is only 71, so he does need to do some pillaging if he wants to upgrade his units. Okay. I don't think much is going to happen over here unless Byzantium decides to backstab his ally. I think they're sending a bunch of trade routes to each other, so there is a good chance here that they are just chill. I think, did he liberate England cities for him, actually? Byzantium may have unironically liberated England cities, because I don't think England reconquered Norwich and Hull. I was not paying attention, but I'm pretty sure that it was friendly liberation from the ally here. We are seeing rock bands come out. A whole lot of them. He did the exact plan I said he would, where he stayed in Theocracy for the 15% discount on grants on all faith purchasing, and then bought a bajillion rock bands with all the faith he had banked. Maybe if he gets really lucky with rock band RNG, he can try to claim a culture victory here. It is possible. It could happen. Stranger things have happened. Somebody needs to start planning on how they're going to prevent that. Like, getting your culture stats up on Georgia could be one way to block the culture victory. It becomes more difficult to secure a culture victory every time a civ dies. So, like, I think Kree is deliberately being left alive here, which is strange. Whenever a civ dies, it reduces the amount of tourists that everybody has accumulated. Like, all of the foreign tourists that came from Kree to Kupe would be deleted if this last Kree city were to fall. Similarly, down here with Poland in the tundra, if this last Polish city falls, it again makes culture victory more difficult. But the fact that every single civ is still alive means that there is actually a hope here. It's possible. Crazy how proud you are of the fact that you aren't allowed near schools. Bro is literally calling a child a pedophile after losing to him in a video game. Curious. Okay. I mean, I should probably watch this front. Amina is a leader in Civ 7 and a great general in this game. Interesting. I did not actually make that connection until just now. These field cannons and artillery are quite exposed. Yeah, needs to get this pillage off. Needs to buy more tank upgrades. Like super important here. Finally, though, he's gonna have all these buildings be powered. Oh, does he not have the oil to support it? 0 oil per turn? Wait, does he have no oil improved anywhere? Bruh. He can't actually power his buildings because he has no oil. All of his oil is being used on maintenance on the artillery here. BBG actually changes military academies so that they grant +2 oil per turn to make the game less RNG dependent. You can just spam military academies, get more and more oil, and that seems to be what Mighty Matey is planning to do. Making some military academies and encampments here so that he can actually make the tanks. Oh, some people are talking about Blaze in the chat. Blaze Cat Games is not the Blaze in this game. Blaze in this game, I think, goes by like Drew elsewhere. DREW. But yeah, Blaze Cat Games is a totally different guy. We can see here, University of Sancor is being finished in Hull in 1 turn. Honestly, it's funny how Blaze is like second highest science in the game after getting attacked here. Yeah, it's recovered quite nicely. He had a bit of a suspect opener, I think. He took too long to settle some of his later cities. Blaze here was simming on like 5 cities turn 50. He had like 3 settlers out on like turn 52 or something, but still on like 5 cities. And it's like, what are you doing? Took him very long to settle his later cities. On Georgia is 5 techs ahead of everybody else. Let me see here. They don't have rocketry unlocked yet. So what they need to do is either spam a bunch of units at Maori to kill them, or go for science victory. Probably both at the same time would be ideal. What are they teching right now? Advanced ballistics. Okay. Probably just trying to keep up a 1 tech per turn pace by researching technologies that they've triggered their Eureka for, so they maintain the tech lead. The cavalry are clearly meant to be helicopter pre-builds. I imagine we'll see some helicopter spam coming out here. Helicopters being an incredible late game unit. Just in general, because they ignore terrain movement costs. In BBG. Some more rock bands. Rock bands just entering the war zone, just casually gliding right through the war. Ethiopia should have planes on this guy. He just doesn't have planes unlocked. You say he's rolling over to Zulu, but the problem is he just was not as prepared as he needed to be, really. He lost a city like right away. like Harar, and got a bunch of stuff pillaged because he didn't have any pre-builds. He had the technology to easily defend himself. He just didn't have the units prepared. But now he's starting to kill him. Really, now it seems Ethiopia's problem is not enough oil, right? Because he had to make oil power plants because World Congress banned coal power plants. You're not just gonna make no power plants. That means that his oil is being consumed over here. He has no oil sources in his land, and the only way he can get oil thereby is by building a bunch of military academies, which takes a while. Also does not have that many encampments built. So this is really coming down to just not having oil. University of Sankor finished. Statue of Zeus started. I'm amazed nobody built Statue of Zeus yet. That's pretty strange. Jebel Burkal being finished down here. Curious. The axe, why are you continuing to grief me? Why wouldn't he continue to grief you? Like, is the axe not the player that you attack? Bro, kind of toxic to be complaining that a guy that you attacked and killed in the game is still fighting you. Like, go finish him off if you're, like, bothered by it. Is kind of cringe. I don't know why he's like, I'm gonna just target you every single game unless you, like, stop bothering me. Bro. So minimum number of encampments is 2, even in free sim. How many would you go if you're playing for second? I like to go for at least 3 on free sim if I can. Not like super early. You want like 1, like around turn 50-ish, just for safety purposes, so you can project a general if you need one. And also because there are some Eurekas. Like build an armory, you need 1 to get this Eureka. You also need it to get have 2 forts in your territory Eureka, right? Because you can't make a military engineer unless you have an armory in a city. And then later I like to build 2 more because that gives the fascism Eureka. Build 3 military academies. So having 3 encampments is a good number. Also 6 oil per turn from having the 3 military academies pretty much ensures you'll always be able to at least like muster some push with tanks. I mean, you start with 1 oil per turn base. Always, no matter what, you always have 1 oil per turn at least. So with 3 military academies, it puts you on 7, which is enough to support a small invasion force, a modest one. Let's see here. Still some trading back and forth. Oh, that rock band retired. In order for Maori to win the game, he needs to get good rock band RNG here because he's relying on them quite heavily. I don't know what his passive tourism is per turn. 437, not that crazy. Not that crazy for this turn. He does have a rock band here with 2 promotions, but it doesn't have great promotions. Seaside resorts and harbors, like none of those anywhere near here. +4 movement. The main thing you're looking for is just to survive longer and longer. You just need the ones that let them perform as if more experienced so that they can survive longer, higher success rates, and then get more album sales. This album sale gives a multiplier on all future performances. So name of the game, just have Rock Band survive and play as many times as possible and get more and more album sales. We have still a bunch of units coming out over here from Kamilki. Going rocketry finally, going to start pursuing that science victory. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to evaluate how close he is to a culture victory when he's relying heavily on rock bands compared to if it was a more passive tourism focused build. We have Big Ben being built over here. Pretty low priority placed on Big Ben this game. It's still... I think there's only one person in the world building it on turn 94. We have Byzantium finishing a zoo here. This will help with the amenity situation. I imagine that with so many cities, it's hard to get the cities to the +3 amenity breakpoint where they earn extra yields. There's another entertainment complex really close by already. I assume he just built extra hippodromes for more free units, because every time he makes a hippodrome or makes a building inside of a hippodrome, he gets a copy of the strongest unit that he can build. Strongest heavy cavalry unit. We see here Kree is finished off, which is going to delete some tourists that are accumulated by cats are cool. Down here, this city has been found, and if this city dies, that will also, yeah, this will finish off Poland. I don't think Poland has any units or any like settlers hiding anywhere else. And it's looking pretty much like we can just call the game in Georgia's favor if they ever ask for a CC vote. They are just way too many techs ahead. Right, while Byzantium might have more prod than them, they can't threaten them when Tamar here has 53 techs and Byzantium has like 45. Who did Kree die to? Died to Georgia, actually. Kree, this is the first city of theirs that was conquered. It was conquered by Georgia. They went up here, conquered all this. Byzantium ended up killing these two cities, which are also Krees. These cities over here all belong to Germany. A Germany player missed their first golden age and then rage quit after having a settler stolen immediately afterwards. Yeah, the cavalry are all clustering over here, which seems to suggest the goal of the cavalry is to just go attack Maori. Probably just upgrading them to helicopters in a bit. Advanced flight being unlocked here. See the world's first spaceport from them coming out. 7 turns, not a super productive city for running this project. 7 turns. I mean, spaceports cost 900 prods. That gives us some insight into the prod of the city. I don't know if there's like some way to check the exact prod of the city, but yeah, I mean, 900 prod takes 7 turns, so it's like 120 or 130 or something. It's like 135, 140-ish prod, I think. Which is okay, but like turn 95, you want more than that in a spaceport city. One way of achieving that would be to go for a Magnus city with vertical integration. The city receives production from all nearby industrial zones with regional bonuses, not just the first. Furthermore, surplus logistics for an additional 20% prod towards the spaceport itself. Between those two, you could get like a much faster spaceport than this. Statue of Zeus being finished. Another player has been defeated. City was raised. Yeah, and culture just getting some setbacks from the dying players. Oh my god, the world's first caravel owned by a player as it's levied from Vatican City. Funny. Nobody else had made a caravel yet. Another retirement. I'm seeing a lot of rock bands retiring. I'm seeing very few living rock bands. I'm thinking it's over. I just find it super unlikely at this culture victory will be able to come through. Because rock bands get progressively more expensive with each one you buy, which is another problem, right? It's not easy to replace rock bands when you've already bought like 10 of them and suddenly they cost like 800 or something. Yes, hello the axe. Welcome to my Twitch chat now that you have perished from the game. It appears you fed Georgia the victory. Honestly, I don't think Blaze was likely to be competitive for first anyway. Maybe. Maybe. It's possible, but I'm somewhat skeptical. I think the person, if anybody fed Georgia the victory, it was Zulu here, because this attack on Ethiopia was in a really, really good spot up until he was attacked. He actually had more techs completed than Georgia, and higher science per turn, and like similar prod and faith. Similar prod and more faith, and yet Zulu attacked Ethiopia with a pretty extensive force, and that kind of ruined everything. And now Zulu has tanks of his own, and it just came down to the fact that this Ethiopia didn't have the oil. Did not have the oil he needed to take advantage of unlocking tanks earlier. You know who does have oil? The Zulu here. He built military academies in like every city, I'm assuming. Military academies give you +2 oil each. I only see one military academy. Okay, that's 2. He has 2 military academies. Does he have a lot of oil somewhere? Like actual oil in his land? The search bar does not work, by the way, if you're playing with the spectator mod. It does not let you search things as the spectator. One of the bugs with the mod. Doesn't seem like Zulu has that much oil per turn, but he does have 35 oil in the bank, so can make a bunch of units right now. 40 oil in the bank. Okay, he does have quite good oil per turn if he's still gaining that much oil when he has this many units. He gained 5 oil as the turn rolled over. Probably some hiding underneath some districts. Is Mighty Meek in fascism now? Yes, he just entered fascism. Probably last turn, I think. So he has +5 combat strength here. And we see Georgia coming here, going to attack the Maori units. Clearly coming with the Grief Squad. Going to be making these into helicopters, probably. I think he's allied to Ethiopia, so he'll be able to upgrade these units in Ethiopia's land. Yeah, we can just asking to CC Georgia. Don't think anybody's stopping this. Wait, did England like decline an alliance from you? The hacks? Because I don't. What is it? England only has 1 ally, right? I think. Players are allowed to have 2 alliances each, because we're just copying CPL's rules in that respect. So, I mean, he has an open alliance. Not declined, but you asked them to send and they never did. Okay. Okay. Game froze up for longer than usual there when I clicked that. Running holy site prayers to get more faith to buy more rock bands. Yeah, I mean, this guy's down to like 3 rock bands left alive. 2 rock bands left alive as far as I can tell. There's 1 here, 1 here, and I think he might have bought a new one over here. This is not going to be enough. Okay, let me undeafen and listen to what that is.
So how we doing a CC vote?
Just CC.
We can just publicly do it because I don't have a bot.
Yeah, also doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, I'm down to CC.
I mean, it will take me like 20 turns. I mean, right now I'm getting with helicopters to his border, but in like probably 20 turns, GDRs just come and will kill him.
Bro, there's no way you're telling me this 94 guy isn't a Smurf when he's putting an equal sign to a CC vote. That's like some old school stuff. People were like, "Oh, I'm too cool to put a plus, so I put an equals," which is like, I'm okay with the vote, but I don't really support it, you know? And that's like
also
some
the
hipster
frequent
stuff.
use of the word dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That
I
is-
think he's for sure a Smurf.
Yeah,
I want to
have
keep playing, but I'm
I have a
stuck with
feeling
right
that
now.
he's playing
but who
Teamers,
is
you
it?
know? I'm pretty sure he's
Who is
playing
it is the real
Teamers.
question.
It's
That's Herson's alt, actually.
I think I would have done better than this. I would have waited till tanks before attacking Poland because I saw the whole wing to Tsar show up and suddenly the Tagma push stalls out thing, like coming from a mile away.
This game would
What do you
be
think
so-
about Paul randomly swinging into me? Is that a thing that like people do?
Yes.
I mean, if they
Yes.
touch kids, yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm
but
glad we're on the same page with that.
But
no,
also,
it's. I do
Good.
think that you probably should have had like literally something prepared, like just anything, in case that
I
happened.
mean,
'cause you had like
it
30
is-
strength cities facing him.
it is
Yeah.
highly unusual to swing into people while you're technically supposed to defend against someone else.
It's
That-
just
That's why
strange
I'm
because
still
he had like
alive.
2 cities left and it's a casual lobby, so he's not even playing for score at that point. It's just I don't know.
No,
I should have had something.
but yeah,
I
literally
learning
any
experience.
unit
It's just
to
so sad.
literally any unit to bring up your city strength, and he can't just one tap them, right? So
I bought out a pike and shot or whatever, but he like, just swarmed me with like 4 wing to Tsars in 1 turn.
Yeah. If I had to give one piece of advice, Drew, it would be you were on 5 cities for like longer than you should have been. Took you really long to settle cities number 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, I have a nasty habit of taking too long to settle.
By the way, Maori, how is fucking possible that we are not in fascism?
democracy, probably right.
He is in theocracy.
Yeah.
What?
Sometimes one thing that some players will do when greeting culture victory is stay in theocracy long enough to get the 15%
Right.
faith discount on your initial rock band wave. But usually, as soon as you've like spent the like 4,000 faith you've banked on rock bands, you generally want to go back to get a tier 3 government. Like it's too good to pass up. I see some people think that they can get away with greeting staying in a theocracy all the way until they get the environmentalism civic, and that's like insane. Like I don't think that's ever correct to do.
Well, if you freeze them, maybe.
Maori is not free. Is not
Herson, do you have any other pointers for me aside from settling sooner and not being 30 combat power?
Off the top of my head, nothing really comes to mind. Yeah, I mean, like the main thing was just being on 5 cities, like turn 50 is kind of rough.
What's like a rough idea for how many cities you should have at each point in the game?
I think generally you want to get to like at least 8 cities around turn 50. Like 8 cities settled, not just settlers out.
8 cities. Oh, okay.
Yeah, additionally,
And you never go above like 12, right? Like 12 is like typically the cap.
12 is roughly the cap. Like if you're going above 12 in terms of cities that you're settling, not conquering, that's usually like an exceptional game. Like
Gotcha.
maybe you're playing Aztec, you got Colosseum, and you had extremely high tempo, then you can settle like 13, 14 cities and still hold +5 menis everywhere, then maybe, but like that's not typical at all.
Any piece of advice to me, Mr. Herson?
Which civ were you?
Georgia.
Georgia?
Except not pushing fucking
I
scientists.
do think that it was pretty sus that you passed Isaac Newton. I think that was a bit of a suspicious call there. I wouldn't have gone for that
I did
myself.
double take
Nice.
happiness scientist and Newton, but I missed.
Yeah,
And
I definitely gave a lot of critique of people throughout the early stages of the game. If you go back and watch the stream VOD now that it's over.
Okay.
So would you recommend us going in and watching that?
Yeah. Wait until I upload on YouTube and make sure you watch it without ad block so that I get the revenue.
I'll put it on loop as I sleep.
Yeah.
See if it sinks in.
Honestly,
you'll
this game
absorb
is
the information better if you have like the ad breaks to think about it.
I'll
You know.
watch
No,
it
that's
on
what I've
both
heard.
monitors on
No.
0.25 speed, so you get 4 times the viewership.
I
Nah.
look forward to hearing how I did everything wrong.
I'm gonna pirate that video.